We are live with another TTS game for week 4. This week we have, or today we have HyperNova versus Tatan. HyperNova has a Green Goblin Spider Foes list. He's got a few splashes: Crimson, Dynamo, Logan, Doctor Strange, Rocket, and we have Tatan playing a Sam Avengers list. We've got Beta Ray Bill, Okoye, Crimson Dynamo, Pyro, and these guys are both 3-0. So this looks like they got some pretty competitive rosters here. It's going to be a good game. I'm with Josh. How are you doing, Josh?
I'm good, Luke. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to see this matchup. Personally, I'm a huge fan of Spider Foes, so I already know who I'm rooting for right now, but anything could happen though. I'm excited to see it. So thanks for having me.
Awesome. So let's see. Let's let these guys know that we are live, and then we're going to get a priority roll in the few seconds here. We've got HyperNova. I believe he's from the USA, and we have Tatan is from Chile. So it's great that we're seeing players from other parts of the world joining the TTS leagues. We got players from all over the world in these things, and that's cool to see.
Yeah, very. Chile is so far, but I am gonna look up at some point if they're in one of the United States time zones. I'm kind of curious. That could be like the farthest country on the planet that shares a time zone with like the West Coast, possibly. But looking at the rosters, also very curious. I love Spider Foes. I'm a huge Spider Foe fan. I love the new Doc Ock, but I do not see. I see the OG Doc Ock on this Spider Foes list, so I'm very curious.
So it's because those characters are not in the mod yet, and they're probably not going to be in the mod until at least the date they're live, like in real life, the street date.
Oh,
So or maybe later. Basically, the rule of the league is that once they're in the mod, they're legal, but um,
gotcha, gotcha.
typically
Okay.
the rule is like don't expect it to happen until street date. So I think we've got a couple more weeks here. We've got like about 2 more weeks before uh, they're going to be playable in the mod, hopefully, but that's why we're seeing a more classic version of the Spider Foes.
Totally makes sense. Yeah. So this is the blast from the past for my home games before have the new Doc Ock at my house. But yeah, I love the new changes that they've got. Like Black Cat's going to be really exciting. Doctor Voodoo, I'm curious about too. Like he's been such an ubiquitous pick before. I'm still seeing him a lot, but I don't know. Do you think they like kind of defanged him a bit with this latest update, or do you expect to see him no matter what?
Yeah, I think that he's not an auto take, that's for sure. We have a huge priority roll here. I've never seen quite the large disparity. We've got 5 out of 5 for Tatan, and we have Hypernova rolling nothing. So I think it's pretty clear who won priority here. Let's
Yeah,
see if he picks his secures or extracts, and then Hypernova will get a chance to pick board edge and threat level.
the superstitious side of me would be a little bit alarmed by blasting all my successes that early in the match. So hopefully Todd can keep the hot dice going. But yeah, I've literally never seen. Yeah, he gets to do whatever the hell he wants with the 5 successes on the priority roll. It's crazy.
All right, so we have Deadly Legacy Virus and Infinity. So Deadly Legacy Virus is a C deployed secure, 3 across the middle of the board. If you get 3 on a character at the end of the cleanup phase, that character is KO'd and you get a bonus 3 points in addition to the 3 that they scored from holding all 3 extracts. Infinity, pretty classic scenario. This is a core set scenario. We've got a B shape deployment on the secure, and if you're contesting it at the beginning of the round in the power phase, you're going to get an extra power. So I think both teams like having that extra power. I don't see an inherent advantage here. The one thing to note during like turn 0 and deployment and all that is I'm looking for sinister traps on the Spider Foes team, and he has it. It is it means you get to put a trap down on any secure or extract on the in the first power phase, and it can really mess up plans for a player that maybe only has one safe extract grab, uh, or just doesn't have a lot of flexibility in what they can do on an opening turn. So we'll see if he plays the card, which I mean it's a top tier card. It's affiliated only to Spider Foes, and let's see if he plays it and how Tatan would play around that situation.
Yeah, that card's one of my favorites to use. The psychological mind games that it brings into the game, so much fun to play around. I feel like it's kind of like a more interesting version of Deception in terms of like its impact on round one. And it's really and the options are there for Nova because he's got two thief characters with Black Cat and with Rhino. And again, like we're on Legacy Virus, so if he can secure all three of those objectives somehow, could be the game. So that's definitely something that you're gonna have to think about from turn one on throughout the whole game. So, um, but this is a D-shaped map, you said. So, are there any characters that
It's a
you?
B shape,
Oh,
but
B shape. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yes, yeah, that's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any like auto includes you think? Like, is this like is Logan a shoe in here maybe, or like is Mysterio out, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think that they're both viable. There's nothing really in this list that's like Crimson Dynamo is like he's known to play on E shapes, but he can do well on Bs as well. I think that there's nothing here that tells like it's hard to narrow down. Logan is trickier on Bs because um, you have to nail down your you have to like basically he has to like be on the flank solo, and he can't be on both points at once. Like, and if you do send him with another teammate of yours, it means he's not probably not getting the effectiveness that you would expect out of him because he wouldn't get his extra rerolls from like going from attacking solo. I mean, you can play around that, but Logan. So I think that it's hard to really pinpoint what is going to happen here. Chrono in the chat mentions that Voodoo is a brawler now, is like more of a brawler. That's how you'd use him with some extract play, and I agree. I think that uh, you're just like you're probably using the spender more than you have before, because a spender is just like it's like the equivalent of like a double wild attack. You're getting the damage from the wild you rolled because of standard dice rolling, but then you also sap them a power and deal damage for that sap, or like you're power burning them. I guess it's different than sap, but uh, he doesn't have the throw superpower anymore, but he has a double hit on the attack as gets a throw, so he could throw twice in a turn. So Mystic is also there's a lot of characters that are weaker to Mystic. A lot of popular characters have like don't have great Mystic tech options. Sorry, Mystic defenses. So I think that Voodoo still has his place, and he's still a viable character. He's just not like he's not the most powerful character in the game or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. So he feels like more kind of a situational thief, like along with Pyro, where like if the moment presents itself, you can do a quick grab, but it's not as a plug and play with somebody like Rhino or Black Cat. I'd say.
Yeah.
Um, is this a Hulk angle here? I don't for for Tatan.
Well, the Hulk is an option because generates more than one power turn. It'll allow it the option to Avengers assemble and retreat with Hulk with a virus is possible. Um, I I'm not sure. I don't see any um, obvious like weaknesses to Hulk in Nova's list. So it's hard to say here. I don't know. I wish I had some like good guesses as to what's gonna happen. I do have one prediction though. All right, Tatan will bring
Mhm.
Sam, and Nova will bring Goblin.
I like that. I will put money on that prediction coming true. Absolutely, bet the
Okay.
house on that one.
Yeah, that's probably like a favorite, right? You're probably betting $100 to win a penny. All right, the odds there
Yeah.
are pretty strong. That we're gonna probably see that. I think we will see Black Cat actually, and I think we will see
Mhm.
Voodoo just because although the points on the virus are lower, there is still like the ability to gather them and like win the game. You just can't do it on like turn 3. It's probably like a mid turn 4 kind of situation or probably, but you definitely do see the virus stealing or sorry, the virus all coming onto one character a lot less now because the points are just not you have to survive longer into the game for the you to score out cashing in all those the viruses.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That does. So kind of leads me to wonder, is this a game for both Black Cat and Rhino to be brought in case like they can get their hands on both of them? Or I don't know if it's really a deterrent because I feel like Black Cat's a little bit more predictable now that her steel takes an action. Rhino's plan is always obvious. It's just a matter of like how close he is before he starts like doing what he wants with breaking and taking stuff. Um,
Yeah,
but they're good.
I
Yeah.
think that Rhino is like it's pretty much an auto take in Green Goblin list just because um he's just such a strong piece. And yeah, that tactic card that lets him steal and throw is I'm sure we're gonna see it played Rhino and the card will both be played this game. And I think that that does actually bring a potential reason to use Hulk in this game because Hulk can just like throw Rhino around and use Rhino as like a cudgel to beat the rest of Nova's team with. But
Oh,
we um yeah, so it's I could see that coming into play, but it's there's so many different options and so many different plays here. But if I think that we should expect at least one steal on both sides is what I think would be a pretty reasonable guess to take here.
that's fair. Yeah, that makes sense. And then one more thing I did notice though. Nova, he got to choose side selection, I believe, of the map because he didn't get the priority roll. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, Nova would have chosen board side. I don't think I saw it rotate.
Yeah,
Um,
because there is a little bit of I'm not sure what the natural side of it is, but it is oriented with a lot of the heavier pieces on the north side of the map. You've got vendor shop size 4 and the node size 3, where the deployment side, his deployment side doesn't look super junked up. Um, but yeah, like I think I don't know. I'm not sure if he's opening up one side for Logan to operate on. I'm assuming Logan wants to be on a place that doesn't have a ton of terrain, but um,
So we have Nova must have chosen 17, and he has his squad out. We have Rhino and Black Cat. So there's two extract stealing characters with Goblin, Doctor Octopus, and we have Lizard. And then we have he brought this is a robbery, sacrifice, and brace for impact. I think he's missing two cards, which I'm sure he will. Something happened here. I'm sure they're going to. He's going to quickly scramble to get those cards out of the deck. And we've got Tatan bringing a. This is like the what do we call this here? I forget the A team or I forget what the name of this team. The Dream Team is the name of this team
mhm.
right here. We've got this is a pretty classic 17 Avengers team, Sam Avengers team here. So we have Sam, Luke Cage, Iron Man, Voodoo, and then we've got Beta Ray Bill as a splash. So we have one steal from Voodoo on this side, and we've got a Helios, Eyes, Heroes for Hire Assemble, Mission Objective. So this is let's see what the other two cards were that were brought, and they're both the typical standard Spider Foes cards you would bring in many situations. Well laid plans, sinister traps. Sinister Traps is probably going to be played on the extract that is opposite to Bill because Bill like that's the clear telegraphed play that Tatan is trying to make right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the Bill's superpowers is obviously aggressive. When he gets attacked, he takes damage, he gets advanced short, but the trigger from the sinister traps, even though he takes damage and gets pushed, it's not an attack, so that's just a straight displacement that Bill's not going to be able to work against. So um yeah, I'm curious does that invalidate Eyes on the Prize then almost?
I think that what is gonna we're gonna see is probably Bill um, walking to like whatever closest extract is not trapped and just in using Eyes on the Prize anyway because if he grabs a flank one he should be on the he should be able to reach the back secure, which is actually better for Bill because he will be able to generate an extra power, giving him 3 power at the beginning of round 2, which would let him do a throw uh, and on like opening round 2 with a size 4 throw or something like that. So I think that a smart play here would be to bait the middle legacy being trapped and then going to the north virus and actually pulling that one. But it looks like he's going right into the left virus here. Um, but so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, while they're deploying, Josh, I know you're newer to the community. Why don't you give us a little bit information about how you joined and
Yeah.
anything about how you got here?
Yeah, so originally, I've been doing streaming for League of Legends, doing casting for a tournament that I run on that side of the border. But for tabletop wargaming, I touched up a little bit with the 40K for a while and started following YouTube channel Play on Tabletop. And they showed this game called Marvel's Crisis Protocol, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I really like the idea of playing Warhammer, but like the idea of like giant armies, painting like 60, 80 models at once, like that's way too much. But I'm a huge Marvel fan. I love skirmish style games. I love tactics games. And when I saw MCP, I'm like, oh my god, this is my speed. This is a game that I can actually like evangelize to my friends and get them on board playing and stuff. So yeah, as soon as I saw it, I bought it that, a month later. Been hooked on it ever since, been trying to share it with my friends, got them to play like, solo TTS games and stuff. So it's just been a really, really fun experience. So I'm just super jazzed that I get the chance to like experience it, cast it, play it. Yeah, love the community, love everybody I've met so far. It's been really fun. It's been great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I got into this a similar way. I started in my tabletop experience with Warhammer, and once I found Marvel, I just like I could not stop myself.
Yeah, yeah. And I think like also it's a sign of my age too, because like when I was younger in high school, I could dedicate like, the amount of hours it would take to like play 40K. And nowadays I'm like, I need like a 90-minute game, 2 hours
Yeah.
tops. Same with painting too. Like if I could paint like one model a weekend, that's great. But a squad of Imperial Guard, man, like that's never happening. That's yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned Imperial Guard because that's what I played that for a little while and I painted like 40 tanks. It felt like.
Oh my god, I know. And I was like, that's the most fun army to play. I would love to play with all these tanks and all these soldiers, but I'm like, I gotta paint all that. Oh my god, that's yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
It's
labor of love.
that's the cool thing about this hobby though is that you it's rewarding.
Mhm.
The I used to play a lot of video games, first person shooters mostly when I was just like I mean like a lot of people, a lot of younger men do, and then I realized like after a while I just um like I had nothing to show for it other than like I guess the experiences that I can remember fondly. But once I started painting, and then like all of those hours that I spent painting the models uh, are um, are now sitting on my shelf, and I can look at it. It like it won't ever go away unless I like choose to get rid of them. But like it's just
Yeah.
cool to see like my hours of time is like represented in this like little action figure.
Yeah, yeah, and it's cool to see, like, your skills develop too over time. My first model was, like, Sabretooth, and I splashed, like, 3 colors, no shading, no primering, it looks like a blob, and then, the rest of my Brotherhood mutants look really cool, and Sabretooth looks like he just, like, got thrown through a blender or something, but, I keep him that way just to show, like, "Oh, this is progress that I've made as, like, a hobbyist." Yeah, it's just plus there's new Sabretooth too, so I can keep the old one as it's like a snapshot of your, the timeline of your hobby. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um,
when
yeah.
I never would have mixed. I the one thing that that what is it? I mean Warhammer. What is it? What's the name of the company?
Oh, Games Workshop.
Games
Ugh.
Workshop. The one thing that Games Workshop still has on me is their frickin' paints. I just like I'm so used to their paints.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm still painting with Citadels. But yeah, I've bought a few of other branded paints now, so I'm starting to branch out a little bit, and I'm mixing colors together. Like I mean, like that's a thing that
Yeah.
this year started mixing colors uh, and getting my like trying to match the skin. Like basically, it's cool. I went from Warhammer where it was like I was painting however I wanted to paint them, and into Marvel where I was like I'm gonna look at the front of the box and that's how I want to paint it.
Yes.
And it's cool. I like it a lot. I mean I was never an art person, but and I never thought the painting side of this hobby would be something that grabbed me. I was only painting to play, but
Mhm.
now
Yeah.
it's like I've realized how rewarding it is to paint and put and like take that model from like your desk in like a work in progress to like on my display shelf and just basically like that movement to get him there, and then like stand and look at it for a second, and then go back down to doing whatever else. That
Yeah,
like small moment of
absolutely.
time is like a lot of there's like a lot of joy in that moment.
Yeah, yeah, especially for characters that, like, you have, like, are emotionally resonant for you, like, if I'm painting, like, shield mooks or, like, Hydra goons, like, that's fine, but once I got to, like, Omega Red, I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna take my time with him. I love this guy. Even though he's not the best, like, I'm gonna make him look as best I possibly can." So, yeah, it's really cool to, like, have your characters that, like, you're like, "Okay, I can, like, practice on this guy, I could get tuned up," and then, like, I'm saving, like, particular characters, like, I want Magneto to look great.
Yeah.
And, like, Ursa Major, I could just splash some contrast on him, he's fine, he's good. Um, but speaking of Games Workshop, I do have to give huge props to AMG. They're such an awesome company. They pay so much attention to the fans and the community. And like, I don't know, coming over from Games Workshop where they're almost like antagonistic towards their community versus AMG, who's like, I feel like they're true advocates and allies to everybody here. So yeah, huge props to AMG. I hear they listen sometimes, so just want to throw that out there too, because they're great.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Chrono says he came from Hero Clicks and Star Wars Minis, and a friend introduced you to this game. That's cool. But you're not a painter, so your friend is doing it for you. It's I mean, yeah, that's cool. I
It's
mean,
a good friend.
that's a
That's
good
a very
friend.
good friend.
That's right. That's right. But you know what? TTS paints all of your minis for you as well if you play on TTS. So that's a fun little thing. Um,
Absolutely.
there is a lot of thinking going on in deployment, and I think that I saw the game. I mean, the game we had last night that you played against Deaton. You can see that there is the rotations and where you put your characters on the B map is it does require a little bit of thinking or maybe a little bit of pre-planning if you want to like optimize it as best you can, because the secures are so far apart. Typically you're going to see the characters stay on the flanks that they're on, and you have to know when to like when if you want to spend a whole turn double moving a character to the other side of the board for battle. Like there's like that always the constant consideration you have to make if you're winning that flank, losing that flank. uh, so I can understand why they're taking a little more time here on this.
Yeah, another consideration too is that Nova's deployed Goblin to kind of center line of the board, and so that's a huge zone of threat that he's got for any buildings that are within range 4 of him for his I think it's tricks and traps. Or no, not tricks and traps, I'm sorry.
Trick
His
or
bomb.
treat.
Trick or treat, yeah, yeah. So, and the vendor shop is a gigantic footprint on the map that could be. I mean, you look at something like that, you're like, look at trick or treat or like
So
Sovereign Strike. Yeah.
this is actually an accuser exam question. Goblin cannot blow up size 4 terrain, so that's something to.
Oh no way!
Yeah. It gets
Oh
people. It actually got me on the quiz. I missed that detail of the question there. They're trying to trick you, right, to make sure that you're paying attention, and
yeah,
that question got me. But um, we are seeing Bill move towards the sinister trap that Nova put down. So let's see what the dice roll. I think the situation here is that he is going to get pushed if Nova rolls successes on this the sinister trap roll. I think it's hits, crits, and wilds. We get 2 damage onto Bill. Bill is going to pay 1 to only take 1, I would imagine, and he's going to get pushed, and then he's going to use his second action to get within 1 or within 2 of the legacy cure all over again. In which case he would also be within the virus range of the within range of the serum canister. So similar to what I was saying before, uh, Tatan wants to put Bill in a position where he is going to have 3 power at the beginning of round 2. And he's on the optimal side as well because he does have a size 4 vendor shop that he could throw at the right at the opening, and it's probably better that Bill throws it, because if he doesn't, Rhino will throw it.
yeah, 100%. And yeah, and I'm also rediscovering Sinister Traps that pushes omnidirectional. So yeah, you can push the character in any direction you want. That terrain behind Bill didn't stop the movement. But that's something that you'll see like good players look for is like they'll buttress their characters against terrain where they're mobile. But Sinister Traps being awesome, omnidirectional, was able to push Bill out of the way, but Bill looks like he's still gonna make it happen, like you outlined there. Still getting more power, like you said, which is a great thing. Turns his power 3 abilities on early. Yeah, Bill's gonna be scary to deal with. I he scares Rhino. Ugh, like I love Rhino, he's a big guy, but there's a lot of stuff that scares the hell out of me when I have Rhino on the table. Bill's like, what is it, God, I forget the name of his abilities. Spender that adds damage equal to size.
Yeah, it's God Hunter. Yeah.
God Hunter, yeah, not fun for Rhino.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
I
that
play a lot of
is.
Rhino. My girlfriend plays Angela a lot. It's yeah, it's rough. Yeah.
So one thing to note, I learned this. I was playing against Curtis earlier than this week, and yeah, and I had a it was a Rhino, my Rhino versus his Bill situation, and he put me in an uncomfortable position because I couldn't attack his uh, Beta Ray Bill because because I couldn't attack him with the intention to play This Is a Robbery because Bill has the ability to advance and like if he takes damage, of course,
Mhm.
and that advance towards Rhino after the attack is over puts him outside of range one.
Oh.
So he's basically really hard to catch. I think the answer is to like basically double walk towards Bill and then play the card, but you obviously need 3 power to be able to pick up the virus after you play the tactic card there.
Yeah,
We're
that's
seeing
sneaky.
Nova. He's walking Doctor Octopus up to grab the piece here. Let's see here. So it looks like he's putting himself in cover from Iron Man and away from Luke Cage, basically, is what I'm seeing. I think. Oh, sorry, away from Doctor Voodoo. He's just moving him further away from the steel.
Mhm.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I like that positioning. Doc Ock, one of the tougher characters, not quite as tough as Lizard, but he fills the role quite nicely on Spider-Foe. So I like the idea of putting him in center line. He could take a couple shots. Yeah, and even if he gets pushed, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that another thing to think about too with Doctor Octopus, he does get crits on rolls, so he could generate power just from blocking well. But also, I think the long term plan here with Nova is that by damaging Doc Ock, you're powering up the ability for Nova to play well laid plans, uh,
Mhm.
and that would make Tatan drop his legacy cures if those rolls ended up dealing damage. They're just like the Mysterio's tricks and traps kind of situation where you roll hits or crits wilds. All right, so we have Goblin going now. It looks like Iron Man picked up the virus, and I think the intention here with Iron Man is that he is tougher than Voodoo. I mean, he has the damage reduction, and
Mhm.
so he's thinking that Iron Man can survive. He can survive the attack or two that will be coming from Nova's side.
Yeah. Yeah, expect to see a pumpkin bomb here. And great attack from Goblin. I love it when he can incinerate people. So we'll see if he gets any triggers on this. Yeah, it could be pretty impactful if they incinerate Iron Man.
Yep. Chrono asks if I am playing in the league. I am playing in the league. I am getting obliterated by all of my opponents. I had one lucky win, I think around week 2, but I've lost my other 3 games. So not my best turnout, but um, I did win the second chance in season 11 against Tatan in the finals. He was in the finals with me. So regardless of how I perform, I have made top cut for this season. So not a lot of pressure on me to perform well during the Swiss part of the league.
Nice, nice.
So it looks like we have Goblin doing an attack into Titan. We got 1 damage through on Iron Man, and we didn't get a wild trigger on Nova. So That's okay. Goblin is just going to be sitting on the point. Goblin loves power, and so he's going to have 4 power at the beginning of round 2. It looks like.
Yeah, that is a lot to play with. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I didn't really realize at the start was that there's going to be so much power flooding these characters. They're going to have a ton of options with how they're going to spend that power. Obviously, you've got like a gigantic helio laser potential on the side of Tatan, but Nova is going to have a lot of different ways to like blast objectives out of people's hands, steal them, or just like drop a lot of spenders on people. But yeah, they're not. Yeah, I don't think Tatan's giving up a ton of really easy targets at the start of this opening round. So yeah, I'm looking through his list and I'm like, I don't want to attack Luke, don't want to attack Bill, Iron Man's and then like yeah, he's just super beefy team with this Sam. Is that what you've typically been seeing is like tougher models with Sam as opposed to like the Sam spam of older where you had just a bunch of squishies?
Yeah, I remember. I remember that when he had like 7 wide or something. But
Oh,
yeah, it's all right. Here we go. We've got Rhino
oh
going. I think that this team, yeah, when you have all of your models being able to heal one, and like if you have 3 models here with damage reduction, and if you heal one on them from the Sam leadership, it's much more
yeah.
impactful of a health like of a heal than if you had a squishy character that healed one. And so you're getting that little extra oomph of benefit out of the leadership,
Hmm.
and so I think that's I think the situation is more of like you bring Sam, you bring Voodoo, and then you're already at a point where you've got only 10 points to play with, and 10 points isn't really enough to go 4 wide. You'd have to bring two twos and 2 2s and 2 3s, and that's just not really as effective. I don't know if it's like a you're getting your bang for your buck when you're bringing in like that many low threat characters. Uh, and so I think that's kind of where it comes from. So it's like you've got to bring a 4 and 2 3s, and Bill is just an all rounder great piece. He's got that eyes grab right away. He's got the terrain throw, and he can hit big like characters that are size 4 hard, like very hard, and he's got the shock ability. Like he just got everything you'd want in a package to deal with those larger threat models. So
Hmm.
I mean, you just like basically all of the pieces are perfect in this team. Like they're all very synergistic, and and I mean, you could swap Iron Man for someone else. I know that Deaton on my game last week, he played. I mean, he played Deadpool basically in the same slot you would put Iron Man in, and so you get a little more mobility there because he has that range 2 place, that new place on his card. But um, the characters all work well together, and then you've got a great anti-attrition leadership, and so it all kind of
Hmm.
just meshes together.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, I always prefer quantity or quality over quantity. But yeah, it definitely makes sense. Like healing up like a really tough character, like Bill, Iron Man, or Voodoo, like that health goes a lot longer. Um, and could have a shield throw from Sam into Doc Ock here, I
That's
think.
what it looks like. Sam moving on to the point, getting a throw. Let's see how good Tatan's throws are. He's got just one, so it hits enough though. Takes a single point of damage.
Wow. I'm sure
Yeah.
Doc Ock is incensed that he took damage off of a roll that pathetic, but um, does Sam needs a trigger to get his ricochet, right? He would need a wild.
Yes, he would, but he does get the push on damage, which is like
Mm.
every time I say that, it's just like it's a little unbelievable to me that that is the case. But yeah, Sam on damage gets to push size 2 models.
Yeah, you would think that would be really rare with the 4 dice attack, but some players can make it happen more often than others.
Yeah, the Sam can roll. He just somehow he gets that damage through, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Fewer Matt says he hates Beta Ray Bill. Matt plays Spider Foes, and so with that damage reduction and Spider Foes knowing they're known for their plink damage. They're like ones and
Mhm.
twos. The I can understand that. I think we all hate Bill, right? As an
Yeah,
attrition player, and I played Malekith for a while. It's like Bill is like the bane of my existence.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a bruiser type character, but he's a Swiss Army knife because like, oh, I'm good against flying. I'm also good against bigger characters. I'm also immune to bleed and incinerate. Like, how much stuff does this dude need? Like, come on. But
Yeah,
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 there's
exactly.
and armor too. Yeah, and a big base. Yeah, it's yeah, yeah, it's fine.
It
It's
is
fine.
a little wild.
It's a little nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. Chronos says Ox should be size 3. I wonder what his new card says. I haven't checked that, but let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Is he a size 3 in his new card? Probably not though. Probably 2, right? Yeah, he's also size 2. Yeah,
Okay.
those
All right.
arms should like those
It should
arms
count.
should count
Yeah.
as that extra size. But
Yeah, yeah, the arm his wingspan is huge. So well, Black Cat's going in real aggressive here.
yeah, so this isn't gonna win him the point on Nova, but it is gonna put the pressure on on Tatan to deal with her. I like how much pressure Nova is putting on that side of the board with extract steals. He's gonna get that extract one way or another, and
Seriously.
yeah, she's gonna make. Chrono says she's gonna make. He's gonna make the other characters bleed. I think. I think Bill is immune to bleed, though, right? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think yeah,
Oh yeah.
bleed
So,
and yeah.
but
Yeah,
I
fun stuff.
think I don't think that's the reason she's there. I would guess that she's there for the steal. And she's now surprisingly tanky now that characters can't explode crits into her attacks.
Yeah, this is a whole new world for Black Cat. You would never imagine in a million years, like 2 months ago, like ever making a move like this with Black Cat just walking straight up to Bill and Sam right in their face. Like that's yeah, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. I like her new role. She's a real sassy cat these days.
Yeah, you just have
Yeah.
to do it now though because you're basically doing that action, the move action towards the character you're stealing from, just like a round earlier, right? Instead of doing it round 2, uh, you're doing it round 1, and
Mhm.
then you're ideally stealing and then moving away. So you're netting like the same kind of basically a very similar outcome, but you're just having to put her further down the board earlier to do that.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing how such a subtle change like non-exploding crits can make a character that much tankier. Like when I first saw her card update, I'm like, it looked like a straight nerf instead of an adjustment. But yeah, seeing her perform, like she's a solid fighter. She feels like yeah, she feels a lot tougher on the board than she looks originally on paper. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
digging it.
there's definitely there was a little bit of deception there. Yeah, exactly. Bill, I'm like I could see a world where Tatan goes with Bill and thinking he is going to be able to take her out in 2 5 dice attacks. I could see a world where isn't able to, and he's gonna definitely like I would imagine that's what he's gonna do. Right, he's probably gonna do 2 5 dice attacks and throw the terrain size 4 into her to force brace off the board and and so Rhino can't do it to him, and then we could easily see a Black Hat living through that.
Yeah, definitely would use up a couple of her lives, but that would be such a huge boon for Nova if he could get Black Cat in and like get in the face of what is that, 7 threat worth of characters and make it out with an objective. Like, yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah, I would love to see it, but Voodoo looks like he's moving into I don't think he's gonna have too much impact this round specifically, but
Yeah. So Voodoo is locked into his place, and we have Lizard going. Is the last activation of the round. We're very likely going to see a 4-3 lead by Tatan. And so we're going to see if Lizard can hit any of these characters. Looks like he should be in range to hit Iron Man. And I think he's, like, from what I'm seeing, he's out on Voodoo. So he's probably going to just throw an attack into Iron Man for the sake of it. Maybe he can generate Lizard some power, some extra power. And yeah, so we'll see if he opts to do an attack or if he just repositions his Lizard.
so if you're Nova on the side of the spider foes, are you considering Helios laser in the characters you're attacking? Like do you even bot like does that change how much offensive output you would put in, or is it just one of those like inevitable things like when it happens it happens?
I think it's mostly inevitable. What I would like to see at the beginning of round 2 is I would like to see. I think that I think that Tatan probably has to deal with Black Cat as an opening, or yeah, as an opening is probably what we're gonna see from Tatan, and then we're gonna see Nova rotate Doctor Octopus away from Voodoo. That's uh that's probably that's my vision as to how things will go, because if he leaves Ock there, um, he could be in a situation um, where he just drops, like he just loses the piece. But I mean, we could easily actually see Voodoo just moving up, attacking Ock, and then I basically hoping for one power generation, and then having the ability um, to make Ock drop the piece. But now with the new, and we're in the new world though, Voodoo would not be able to recall that token, the Daniel token, as easily as he was before. So I think that, like saying it out loud, it seems like a too risky. Voodoo would probably get dazed this round for sure if he like went that aggressively trying to take that virus away from Ock.
Oh, yeah, yeah, because he'd definitely be in range for a couple double attacks from not only Goblin and from Lizard too. So, yeah, what was Voodoo's? Could he spend power to recall the token before?
He on If he was getting attacked, he could spend 2 to recall his token, and now I believe it's 3. And you
Yeah.
also cannot recall it in the power phase for free anymore either.
Okay,
So
okay.
there's no end of turn like little gimmicks where you possess someone and then immediately get it back in the power phase, and nothing ever happened, like as if nothing ever happened.
Yeah. Got to feel a little cheated when that happens too, just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So let's
But
see
yeah,
if Don is going to decide on what he's going to do first.
nice. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, it looks like probably around the Black Cat area, maybe. I always wonder, like, do some players like I'm gonna hover around where I want you to move to just kind of get your head thinking there. But um, yeah, the Black Cat right there is super dangerous. She's got 3 power on her right now. I don't think she's really gonna. Her grappling hook would cost 2 power, so I don't. Yeah, it'd be tricky to try and see if she can make an escape with using any power.
Yeah, she would definitely steal for. So that's the thing too, though, with Nova, is that I think the steal costs 3, right? So
Yes.
if she stole and she just moved away as her 2 actions, she would not have brace online. And so Beta Ray Bill could throw
Oh,
something at her, maybe throw Rhino at her or something. So I think that this isn't the best case scenario, because if she lives, which she's taking 2 right now, so she has 3 health left. If she lives, she'll have enough power to like brace, to maybe jump away and steal. Um, so let's see what happens. Looks like we're taking. I think we should be taking 2 on Black Cat here, and we do.
okay. Gonna give her 5 power. Do you? I think you just go for it. Oh, she got stunned too.
Yeah, so that might slow her down a little bit, but the problem for Tatana seeing is that she already had enough power to do the one
Hmm.
thing that, like, her main thing of stealing an extract from another character. So it doesn't matter how much power you give her. Like, let's see what happens. So he is going to be spending 3 power to throw the terrain into Black Cat. I'm assuming like this has got to be the brace play, right? I think that
Yeah,
this
yeah. This is
it makes a lot of sense to play it now. So there it goes.
one of Black Cat's lives are gone.
Yeah, yeah. So she's got 3 health left. We got a 5 dice attack going into her. The reason we will see a 5 dice attack into her is because if Bill does his 6 dice energy attack, he will have no. I mean, actually, we could see that. We could see him spend 2 for 6 dice attack. He won't have any power left to like have any damage reduction or anything like that. But I don't see it. He needs to keep the power. Bill needs to keep the 2 power on him so we can mission objective to counter Rhino's steal. Right? So
Oh,
if
yeah, yeah,
Rhino
yeah.
plays this is robbery, it'll drop the token, but the dropping the token could would trigger Sam to get it, right? And then Sam could just like run away probably. So that's why I think we're seeing the we're going to see a 5 dice attack from Bill here.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. Because if that objective does go to Sam, he's a long mover, super mobile. Spider foes don't really like chasing people down once Rhino's done his thing. So,
He is
um,
opting to spend his power though here, so
oh,
that's
okay,
pretty interesting.
okay.
He's basically counting on the extra die doing enough to kill Black Cat. Let's see what the rolls show.
Let's
Wow,
see.
there it is, a block. Black Cat
Oh
tanks it.
man,
Yep, that's crazy, right? That's
that girl's getting it done.
yeah, that was a big save. I mean, it really was more of a whiff than a save. So,
Yeah, I take
five
back
dice
all my trash
attacks.
talk about Bill. Dice, he's ruled by dice like everybody else. So,
Yeah, yeah. So look at that. He he was probably hoping to take 1 damage there, maybe because it would have
hmm
got him that range 2 hop. But I mean, he'll take what you can get, right? He's gonna. I mean, it's the obvious answer here is to steal and then move away. You are now in sacrifice range for Rhino too. So if Sam gets any sort of ideas, uh, he can put it right onto Rhino. At least one of the attacks onto Rhino.
yeah, which would let Rhino aggressive forward.
Yeah,
If he
give
wanted
him
to get into
probably
those.
give him more power too if he gets a damage through, which is odds are likely.
Yeah, yeah. That's a really good pairing. I love that with the Rhino sacrifice and Black Cat on that northern flank. That's a really, really good positioning from Nova there. Nice
Yeah,
plan.
it is quite the puzzle that Tatan will have to navigate through. He doesn't have a way to steal the extract back on this side of the board, so it's more of if can he punch through. I mean, yeah, can he punch through Black Cat? He will probably get a chance to attack her once because he Sam can because he can only sacrifice one of the attacks,
hmm
but um, we'll see. Like the range 3 on Black Cat, right? She has stealth. So this range 4 that is being measured is not available. So Sam might even have to be off the point to attack Black Cat. It's close. I'd have to. It's hard to eye up here, but that's what my eyes are telling me is that he'd have to be off the point, which means he'd have to charge. Which means if he does a second attack, he's just off the point completely.
Yeah.
And then and then Rhino can come in and basically like stop this score, stop Bill from scoring that point over there. So there's a lot to think about here. Um, I I'm not sure if I would have gone with Sam right now, but uh, it's I mean I don't really know what other options you have here. I think that like I said before, Voodoo like trying to push for that extract, like Chrono said, like you have to consider Voodoo a brawler right now, and then at a key moment he'll take an extract.
Yeah.
Chrono says
Well,
body blocked with Black Cat, so that's a good point too. Is that Black Cat conveniently, I think it's kind of incidental, but she is in the way of getting Sam on the point here.
yeah. And Tatan's making his move. It looks like Sam is just going to ignore Black Widow's advice, and he's just going to just try to punch his way through this problem. Um, so we'll see. Now, if there's a sacrifice played here, and he gets a ricochet, will he still be able to target Black Cat with that second ricochet?
So no, so the ricochet will have to go into a separate target. So Rhino, so he can opt to
Uh,
not do the ricochet though. So
okay.
it depends on if he wants to give Rhino power now. I think that um, I think that well, let's see. Yeah, he's gonna go into Black Hat for sure. But we are playing
Yeah.
sacrifice. Yep, that's I think that was the right play on Nova's side. It means that just like I said, Sam either has to move back onto the point and try to win that point and survive Rhino's onslaught.
Uh,
Rhino is not going to get aggressive because he's not taking damage from Sam. He rolled too well.
yeah. All right. So Rhino doesn't even consider that an offense. Another attack from
Yeah.
Sam
All
into
right. So
Black Cat.
Sam is opting to stay off the secure here. We've got 3 into 2 blocks, and that's wow. Look at that.
Oh,
Black Cat tanks
jeez.
another damage. Does she tank another all of it? She does.
Actually has 9 lives in this match.
Yeah,
So
all
does.
right. That's
Yeah.
four attacks into. Oh, sorry, three attacks now. Three attacks into Black Cat so far. Let's see how many more it takes. Gross, yeah, Chrono.
She she is a whole new world. She's not even playing in, Web Warriors right now, which would be even more gross, so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm trying next is Black Cat and Web Warriors, man. She's gonna be a new archetype of characters, the Thief Tank. So
Yeah, Thief Tank. I like that. Yeah, that's exactly what both these characters are, Rhino and Black Cat. You're getting
yeah.
a lot of health. You're getting a lot of health on them for the threat you bring to the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Just and absorbing all
Oh,
kinds of
cool. We got
aggressive
Sunday
yes.
Taco cheering for Nova. That's cool to see. We got a lot of Spiderfolk players in the chat right now, so that's it's cool to see them coming out to cheer on their boy.
Yeah, you got to because we're so rare. You really have to.
Okay, so we
Yes.
have what do we have here? Who rolled? I'm trying to understand what just happened.
I thought I saw Sam rolling
Oh, wait, did we have a
again.
ricochet? Is that what I might have seen?
It
I'm
must have
not
been a
sure.
ricochet.
And we have no damage into Rhino. It looks like. So
Man.
so the one. All right. So we do have a slight positioning issue on Tatan's character here. On Sam, he's in within three of Rhino, which was an unnecessary spot to put him in. And so, Jesus, love it. Yeah, love to see the pumpkins and
Love the
lots of
pumpkins.
love the chat right now. It's awesome. But Sam is within three of Rhino, which means Rhino can like hit both of them and get up the board kind of situation. Whereas if Sam was a little further back outside of three of Rhino, Rhino would have had to take a move action to attack either of the characters, which Tatan like he could have utilized that. The sacrifice cost him that power that let him do it. But now
Ooh,
he
3
gets
crits.
he
Whoa.
gets oh, so we got the ricochet. This is the ricochet into Rhino.
Jeez. Man, okay.
And
Maybe Sam's gonna
that was decent. That was a big hit, but Rhino loves the extra power. Like
yeah.
he's loving the extra power right now because he went from could have having a bad or a subpar activation to now getting probably to do everything he would want to do in a turn. He's going to be able to do that pay 3 power push and then roll 7 dice into either of the two, either Sam or Bill, and then probably get a terrain throw in there, size 3 terrain throw on that pillar. So yeah, I bet Nova is probably happy with Rhino's Rhino's options, and
Yeah.
yeah, looks like because every character on Titan's side is activated on the north side of the board, Rhino doesn't have to do anything if he doesn't want to. He can wait it out. So Goblin has targets here, and looks like he's considering uh, getting Goblin's attacks into one of Titan's characters.
Yeah, anytime you can have a goblin activation that where he double attacks, that's super fun. Even if it's a newer target that's not super soft like Iron Man, you're still hoping for some incinerates. You've got your spider foes leadership, so you can force a little bit more damage into that. But yeah, I agree about the point with Rhino. He's totally cool sitting there. They officially have got his attention, so I'm really curious what he's gonna do with that surplus of power that he's got. But yeah, yeah, Nova could just bide his time and wait. Rhino is going to have an explosive activation when he decides to take it on. So, but yeah, we see that flank movement from Doc Ock going to the north hemisphere, getting into range of Sam. And yeah, good reposition to just decide which strong side he's going to be on. Really reinforce that the northern hemisphere of the map.
Yeah. So the I think we're gonna see a voodoo rotate. I think that now the players are gonna realize the which side of the board is more valuable, with the north side now having 4 victory points on it to the bottom side having 3. And voodoo is going to be a crucial part of Tatan's plan to swing the amount of VPs that each player is gaining over to his side. So I would imagine we're going to see voodoo rotate up. Um, but Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think that Iron Man is probably going to attack whoever has activated on Nova's side because he has that wild push option,
Hmm.
and basically it'll push them off of their secure, forcing the other Spider-Folk character to stay back and and own that back secure. So we'll see. I think that Nova could use the activation on Rhino to his advantage, though, right? Because it means that he will get to go last this turn. So I think that there is a little bit of decisions to be made on activation order here.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's I think the southern side is also just another reminder that, one of the reasons why Iron Man has just not aged, he just doesn't age the same as the other core box characters, like, is that unrestricted push that he's got on his attacks. Usually Lizard and Goblin are not, gonna get thrown around very much due to their size, but the fact that Iron Man could just like use a basic builder attack to knock him around is I that's fine. They're repulsor blasts. It's Stark technology. We all have to accept it. He's got cool gadgets. Yeah, yeah. If he holds his own against those two, Iron Man, Iron Man, Iron Man. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
it's
say yeah.
let's yeah, exactly. I think that he definitely could, but I think that the volume of fire that he would be under if he was going it alone, it wouldn't it'd be a losing battle, I would imagine. Um, so let's see what he does here. Who's he gonna rotate? If he rotates Iron Man up towards the top of the board, I would be nervous because Rhino would be in a position to maybe like sneak that off of Iron Man, and then um,
Hmm.
Nova has a little more control here. The one thing though is that Rhino is like a one and done steal, right? Whereas
Yep.
Voodoo and Black Cat can take as many times as they have the opportunity to. So I think that there's also a question of like when do you play that card? When do you play this robbery because you only have it once?
Yeah, yeah. And it's super high impact turn, but yeah, it's the only he runs out of gas like almost immediately after that. So quick measurement from Nova from Goblin. I don't think Goblin is in range to blow that van up in the center line, so that would be a safe area of travel for now with where Goblin is. But I did see measurement onto Goblin 2 from Iron Man, and Goblin really, yeah, I don't think, yeah, he can't, I don't think he could reach that van.
So the way the
Um,
trick or treat works is that you measure range 4 from Goblin, and then you measure range 2 from the character that is within range 4 of Goblin to see if the terrain is within range 2 of the character. So the
uh,
threat range of trick or treat is like much larger than you like. It's just such a large area. Uh,
yeah,
so it looks like he's really just yeah, he's not going to be in range of Iron Man here, so the trick or treat option is not available to him right now.
Tony barely gonna skate by from the clutches of Green Goblin. We'll get him next time. Um, but yeah, that's really good to know though. That's a deceptive measurement mechanic because I don't think there's a lot of abilities that have that where yeah, because I'm thinking like Sovereign Strike is a similar type thing, and it just like blasts everybody within 2 of the terrain.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. There's a
Mystique's a
there's a
similar
few of
too.
them, but not too many. So you don't play against them very often. Um, but yeah, so it could easily trick you.
Yeah, yeah. It's like those like characters in Street Fighter that people think are junk and nobody plays them, but when you play against them, you're like, I have no idea what the hell this guy does. Like, yeah, yeah. You don't know, yeah. And this is a game where like information is like supremely important, with all of your considerations. So, um, and I always wonder about these rotations too because Iron Man basically gives up the turn to try and threaten at least center the map. But I mean, is that a? I mean, I guess it's like you. It's better to realize that cost earlier than later, I imagine. To just give up this strong side of Nova's. Both Nova's sides feel strong right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that Nova activating last here is really, oh, he got an Avengers Assemble
Oh,
play going on.
good call.
So he's rotating his characters with the card. I think that so Iron Man is putting himself in a position to be Avengers, to be mission objective, the point off of him. So he is seeing if he can mission objective it to Beta Ray Bill, but now that he realizes the distance isn't there, he's gonna just make sure that he has Iron Man within range two of another Avenger or another character. That way, Rhino plays if he plays this is a robbery, mission objective can counter it and shift the objective to what looks to be voodoo in this case.
It is really crazy how much threat projection Rhino has for a
Oh
slow
yeah.
model. Like, he literally could run across the map and just take something from us, so that consideration is, like, definitely an example of, like, high level play here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing the consideration of that threat level. But yeah, Rhino is a very powerful piece. It's crazy how it's just cool how he's like definitely a meta defining piece, I think, is probably fair to say. And
Mhm.
Man, he just can ruin it. He ruin your day if you're not careful. So
Yeah, yeah.
let's see how Tatan. Well, Tatan I think is doing a good job of dealing with that. Iron Man is going to get cover from a Rhino attack if in some situations, but we'll see. I mean, Rhino doesn't even have to go after Iron Man right now anyway. He could. We could see. I think that we're gonna see a well laid plans next turn if he doesn't decide to um if he doesn't decide to try to take Iron Man's legacy from him this turn. And all it takes is a one wild or a crit, I believe, on 5 dice,
Mhm.
and Iron Man drops that piece, and we might trigger a mission objective. But then if you trigger a mission objective, this is the robbery is now online. This so there's lots of. Oh, here, hold on. Can I spend for Sam now? I forgot to rest the power. Ah, man. Um, the timing window has passed.
Oh, and that's rough too, because these are tournament games. They're not kitchen table games that we're playing here. So, like, you have to stick with the rules and
Yeah,
oof,
so Tatan paid for two of his characters, I believe, and then he moved them, and then he wanted to pay for a third. Um, which unfortunately you have to pay for all your characters, and then you have to get a move. Now, sometimes which that's the correct way to play it. And I would say that if you're playing in a high level game or a game that has what you deem to have stakes on it, I would say that that's what you should play.
yeah.
Sometimes you might see situations where a player like lets you do something, and like if Nova did let him play Avengers Assemble on Sam there, I like that has happened. People do that. However, Nova is in no way obligated to let that happen. And um, if your opponent makes a mistake, I mean, it's your job to capitalize on it. Basically, is
Yeah.
what I would say. So I, if I'm playing, the league to me has stakes. I like to challenge. I like to play by the rules and as by the rules as I possibly can. And I like to, if my opponent makes a misplay, even if it's small, I tend to um, just try to follow the rule book as best as possible.
Yeah, and I mean that's in a competitive tournament environment that's kind of how you have to do it because I mean when you boil everything down to the only way you win in this game is when your opponent is making positional mistakes or any kind of general mistakes. Like if you're not playing the perfect game, those are the opportunities for your opponent to take advantage of. Like you played the wrong character, you mispositioned or whatever, and that also includes mechanics too. Just for the sake of consistency too.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Because I was watching Norbert stream 2 days ago, and they were talking about, oh, what if you roll, too many dice or too few dice or whatever. And the consensus was just re-roll, always re-roll. Don't like, have any funny like, oh, well, if you failed it here, yeah, it's just consistency is so important. And so like it's dispassionate, it's fair, it's part of competition. So yeah, and it's a learning experience. That's the most important part. Is it's a learning experience too.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Chrono
yeah.
says practice how you play, and yeah,
That's fair.
that's a good way. That's good way to approach it.
Yeah, yeah. That was the too few is easy. The hard part's too many for sure. Absolutely. This also keeps this movement in the middle too. From Tatan, it also does keep Luke available for Heroes for Hire, I think, on Iron Man if there is an attempt on there.
Yeah. So
Does that just
the defensive tech all exists still. It's just that he's not on a secure. He's trying to rotate his pieces, and
yeah.
I think it was Chrono actually who said earlier in the game like they're taking a long time to deploy, and you can see that having to rotate
Yeah.
is pretty punishing on a B map, and so this is why we're seeing the sacrifice that Tatan is having to make to try to make this rotation happen. So we have a Lizard paying 3 power, what's probably a throw. Yes, that's what it is. Voodoo hasn't activated yet, so Voodoo is probably going to reposition off of this throw. So my thinking here is like this is forcing an earlier Voodoo activation potentially,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it. Is it is forcing an earlier Voodoo activation, or but you could activate Luke Cage as well and get the mission objective onto Luke Cage. So I don't see the full impact of this move. I'm not seeing it at this moment in time. But maybe we'll see it after a couple of activations, or let's see what Tatan does with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious because yeah, Lizard it took his move, took the throw. So could he attack and do a push onto Voodoo at this point?
He could, but I don't know if it's that impactful.
Yeah.
And maybe when you're playing Sam Avengers, it's tricky, right? Because if you get all the characters, they all take 2 damage on Sam Avengers team. It's like you get the leadership. Okay, they've healed the damage. You get another leadership, or like you. Um if like I don't know. Um it's tricky to like untangle the web of all this counter attrition problems that they provide or they present.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, looks like okay, so Lizard's gonna contest the serum canister, the second move.
Double move with Lizard. Luke Cage could displace him, but he would need a spender, and to do the spender, he would need to gain, I think, 2 more power, which is not very likely with a 5 dice attack into Lizard.
Yeah.
So I think that idea here um, is that Nova is thinking that Lizard is probably safe being there. It doesn't have to really worry about a repositioning situation. And if Voodoo is spending his power to possess Lizard, it means he's not spending it to pull back an extract. So I think that Nova made a pretty a decent enough. I think it's a good play. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I can't see anything that's obvious that would have been better.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like what fits into the typical Spider Foes game plan is like you have so many like strong high value models that are like good, really good pound for pound characters. They like pairing off into like 2v2s, 1v1s. When they don't want to go into a castle, they don't want people to clump up. And so just like keeping these fights like smaller in numbers, I think plays to Spider Foes like, typical character strengths where they're like really strong, not overpowered, but just like in even numbers, they're pretty freaking effective.
Yeah, they're generally tougher models. But so they both teams have brought what I would say is a pretty like they're pretty tough teams.
hmm Yeah, biggest distinction being Nova's being has a little bit easier plan to steal objectives.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. The
yeah,
2 character steals and he's got well laid plans. I
yeah,
think that's quite the it's just quite the I don't know what to say here. It's just like
the
the
tough
options
package.
available to him.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got
yeah,
it's a very I think it's a very smart squad that he brought into this game. I mean, both players brought very powerful squads, but I mean, I've played my fair share of games where I have bring 1 steal and my opponent brings 2, and it's like always a bad time.
yeah.
Yeah,
It is. It is. It's tough.
2 steals, and so in a way, Nova's got 3 ways to drop extracts. So yeah.
Yeah.
Chrono says, "Do you the more methodical play. Do I practice with clocks as I get closer to cuts? Well, no, I don't. I don't play with clocks like ever. I think that's only in cuts. So I don't. I used to. I used to be a huge practicer and play all the time, or like at least like prep all the time. Actually, I would say more than play. And But now, I mean, I just don't. I just don't. I barely practice. I think all of my games are like all recorded on Longshanks at this point. Uh,
Hmm.
the spreadsheet power, yeah, yeah. I don't do that anymore. But I feel like it was a very valuable tool for me to get better. Is like building my spreadsheets of all the different squads I could possibly bring, what I think they're gonna bring, and basically being comfortable with what I see on the table in front of me at the beginning of the round. It definitely helped me win matches or steal matches from players that would that generally play better than I do. But And it was a lot of help to like understand a lot of the openings and things like that. But I'm exhausted. No, I just like I've done
It
that so much that like it's whatever now.
Yeah, that's like kind of the borders that you start hitting when you play a game for fun, you really enjoy it, you want to see how, how you can develop your skills over time. But at some point, like you hit your effort level and you hit an effort level where it starts feeling kind of like a job. Where you're like, this is work. I'm not a job, but it's like work. It's a labor of love for sure. But yeah, I think every player will hit their point where like, oh, okay, I just want to play something dumb. I just want to play like big dumb robots, like let me play Sentinels or something, and just like not turn my brain off for a little bit. And yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Deaton says I got locked rosters banned. It was funny because in season 10 when we were voting on how to lock rosters or not, I actually voted for unlocked rosters because I guess I was like hoping I could get to the finals again, but this time with unlocked rosters. Like that was like my vision. And then the majority of players voted for locked rosters, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna win the season then because I'm just gonna put in more work than my opponents. And of course, I lost the season in the finals by one VP. So
Oh,
close, but yeah, uh, we'll see when we get to the cut how hungry I am. But if they lock rosters again, I'm gonna win it this time. That's
it's not a threat. That's a promise.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's a message to all you players. If there's a vote, I'm warning you.
Your destiny is in your own hands,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, exactly. All right, so we have Luke Cage who moved up towards the top half of the board. He's protecting Iron Man in a way, but he's also I think he probably measured range 2 on Iron Man. Like that would make the most logical sense here. Um, and so and so that's kind of like a two for your mission objective protecting, but also like you're keeping Iron Man alive, who is holding the extract. I think he would have also placed him outside of range 3 of Rhino. That would be the smart thing. I didn't see it measured. I was laughing too much, but
You
yeah,
did. I
that's
think you did.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah. Yeah. Because yeah, you don't want to give a gore right away. Yeah, and this is just I mean, you said it before, like Nova has created a really, really nasty puzzle. He's got potentially three contested objectives, in addition to the two legacy viruses on his team, if all things like, stay even. Um, yeah, and I don't. The thing with the tough teams too is that like, oh, we got a shot to Rhino, maybe. Hmm.
Who's so who would this be? This would be Rhino activating. I think Nova just
Oh, he's
tabbed.
acting.
He just pointed out that he's about to activate Rhino.
Okay.
Um, so I think Voodoo is he isn't far enough to rotate up, which I think that was another part of Nova's thinking is that if you get Voodoo closer to the bottom side of the board than the south side here, he can't rotate up to that point, and Rhino can basically um, block the VP for Tatan. So not only will Nova get 4 VPs, he will stop Tatan from getting 3. So
Yeah.
let's see what happens here. Who he attacks. Rhino scores 3 attack hits. with a fourth coming from the crit. And we got Tatan rolling 2 blocks. Let's see who it went into.
Into Sam? Sam may have shielded that.
Yeah, Sam did shield it, so it is into Sam.
Okay.
Yeah, he paid for shield. That's right, Chrono.
Nice, nice.
I
Yeah,
think that I
really
mean you
important.
go into Sam is like if you can take out Sam early, it puts you at in a good position because that leadership is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So he made Tatan roll a Spiderful reroll to get an extra damage through, which and now he's going to probably force the brace here, I would imagine. Yeah, or he could just throw it right into Bill because Bill can't brace and he can't pay for damage reduction. It could put him at if he whiffs, it puts him at 1 health left if he throws at Bill. So Rhino has the power. Rhino always has the power.
He's got the power. He's got the motivation. He's got the anger.
Let's see.
This
Oh,
is
yep. We're going into Bill. I think that makes the most sense. You're getting the most value out of the throw here. And so
yeah.
let's see.
It was all fun and games throwing shields at Rhino at long distance, but now that he's in your face, completely different story.
Yeah. All right.
Oh
We've
man.
got a great block from Bill. Let's see if he can block the rest of it. And he blocks almost all of it. That's not bad. I mean, oh, hold on. He only took 1 damage. Should be 2 damage. Let's see if we.
Yeah.
That was a size 3, right?
Can you carbonite reflexes off that?
No, he had no power to reduce.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say size 3. I've taken 1 more.
Yeah, another damage to the Bill would be pretty huge. It's typically hard to get damage to stick on him anyways, so the instances where you can spike him, super important. I'm sure Rhino's not going to be done. Got
Yeah,
a
we're just
ton of
getting.
power.
Tatan is responding to my call in the chat, but I blocked 3. My mistake. Look at that. See, I'm just like
Oh wow. Okay.
I didn't notice the extra crit roll in, so we're good. All right. This is great. I like the ability to be an accuser and be a streamer here is just like it's a great opportunity to make sure that the game is being played as cleanly as possible, even if I miss something. So we're good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. 'Cause there's been a couple times where I've seen a stream like, well, they weren't supposed to do that, but we can't say anything because we're not accusers, so
It's
it's
a
just
little,
it's
it's a
gonna
little
happen.
nifty, basically. It's a little nifty.
Yeah. Yeah.
He blocked 3. Yeah, yeah. Thanks. I read the chat now. Oh, okay, all right. You guys make me look bad by not saying it earlier. Oh yeah.
Also, no
All right.
praise for the top
Thanks
two.
for visiting
Yeah.
Chrono. Hopefully you get to catch the rest of the game. Hopefully it's exciting to watch the rest of it on my YouTube channel tomorrow morning or whenever I get it up, but as soon as possible after the game's over.
Good stuff. Rhino is flush with power right now. Super, super scary. Bill.
All right, we
Let's
got
see.
pumpkins in the chat. Let's go. Rhino,
It is the
Rhino. Yeah,
season.
yeah.
It's the
There we
season,
go.
baby.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is the season for Spider-Foe's TTS win, right, guys? Right, guys
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
chat. Yes.
We're all getting goblin masks and going
Oh
straight to the pumpkin patch
yeah,
after this.
let's
If
go here. Let's see.
Spider-Foes win.
Let's see if Goblin can like move, hit and run back onto a point or something, and just like one shot Iron Man. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Jack o' lanterns
Love
in the
it.
chat. All right, that's what Jack o' lanterns in the chat. All right, if Goblin takes out anyone, I need to see some chat activity on the.
And if Goblin can't, then he's just got to start slamming his glider into people and see if that works.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Rhino did an attack into Bill, looks like, and got a couple more damage through. So he is basically just more threat projection on Rhino. Oscar Bachar, thanks for joining, Gary. Let's go. I think all the spider foes are here. All right, this is awesome. All right, cool.
Okay, starting to feel a little dangerous now.
Yeah, I'm getting swarmed a little bit now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, it's not funny anymore, guys.
Yeah, yeah, slow down. Yeah. All right,
Oh
so
my goodness.
let's see what Voodoo does on last activation. Like I think Nova's done a good job of like almost forcing Voodoo to stay back.
Yeah.
And like or else he's losing 6 points. He's 6 points to nothing if Voodoo doesn't react on his side of the board. Um, so there's a lot of it's this has been a phenomenal turn for Nova. He's like he it seems like he hasn't made a wrong move yet.
Yeah.
That that Nova play on Rhino is a body block from Voodoo. So uh, I think that that's what Nova's intentions were was to even if he could get there, which I thought it was too tight. Um, it's he definitely can't get there now. So wow, this is
100%.
yeah. This
Yeah, and this is like the way that you love to see MCP being played, where you get one side that's got an advantage and they continue staying aggressive without, because I mean the only passive move that he's made was to withdraw Doc Ock back into the north corner. Everything else has been super proactive. Just not giving Tatan any kind of breathing room to just, consider an offensive move himself. Like he's got Tatan pushed and just in reactive mode right now. And this is like one of the hardest ways to play MCP.
Yeah,
Um,
this is like
yeah.
the teams that can like this team is doing phenomenal. He's stealing extracts, and then putting a massive amount of secure pressure on on Tatan. This is I'm like I'm a little blown away by like how well he's playing here. Like he's like this is such a he's playing very strongly. I would be a little overwhelmed here. So
Hmm.
Tatan is probably that's why he's like considering all these options because um, yeah, the pressure there's a lot of pressure here. He can't the voodoo nerf right here. We're seeing exactly why, or we're seeing the impact of the voodoo nerf because he cannot
Yeah.
display size 3 models. So
Hmm.
it means that before he would have been able to potentially throw Lizard off the point and then
Hmm.
possess Goblin and then basically so he'd get 1 point and Nova would get only would get nothing. But in this
Yeah.
case, he would only be able to. Oh, do we have someone join? Let's see here.
So,
Okay. Someone joined our chat, but hopefully they realize that we're on Twitch. All right.
okay.
Okay, but yeah, this Voodoo is opting to rotate. I think that I personally would have tried to, uh, I may maybe possess Lizard here and just slow down the score, but
Hmm.
you could possess Rhino with enough damage and slow down the score that way. So I see the reasoning behind the move here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're also seeing that, the effects of, how impactful it is to, deploy your units on a B map. Like it's, that's why they were taking so long, is because, you're setting your fate within those first like 5, 6 choices you're making right at the start. You're gonna have to make like really awkward rotations if you end up on the back foot. You end up with a mismatch that you're not, interested in keeping up. Because I mean, you think about how difficult it is, or how rare it is for you to like, throw a stagger condition on somebody. Forcing a rotation like that across the map is like almost you're almost losing a turn. You're trying to figure out a way to like make this somewhat efficient. When you're repositioning from one side to the other in a B map, it's yeah, super super rough. Just like, yeah, there no chill on the side of Nova. Like he is just like he's really just pushing his advantage super hard. Yeah, love to see it. Yeah, I
All
love
right, so
aggressive games.
we have a call out on the chat. See, I love saying things wrong because then I get more chat activity. But yeah, Voodoo can now only take away extracts. He can't affect the secures. So this means that that he can't. He's rotating because he needs to get his character. He's setting up his next round, is what Tatan is doing. So ultimately, this was a very powerful turn for Nova. Tatan is needing to he's going to need to leverage the strength Voodoo and the rest of his tactic cards here and a key probably a key bill activation on Rhino potentially um, to swing the points back in his favor because it looks like he's going to be in a point deficit now. Nova is looking like he's going to react. He's either going to react with another rotation with a rotation on Goblin, but it looks like he's just putting Goblin on the point. I would have liked to see. Maybe he considered a move hit and run back onto the point, but
Hmm.
if I had to guess, I'm saying he's opting not to give extra power to the Avengers team.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense too because you've got that Helios laser on the horizon, and I think the original battle plan was like all these Avengers are sitting on the canisters, getting a loads of power over time to have like one giant Helios laser. But yeah, just like really picking and choosing when you're going to deliver damage and supply that power. Just a really smart move. Like he knows it's Nova's showing that he knows when to be aggressive and when to just like kind of like keep his cards close to the chest and not go all in. So.
Another thing
Yeah.
that's really powerful, like that's the Infinity, like by having 4 to 5 year models on Infinity, it means you're netting nearly double the amount of power in the round that your opponent is. And
Mhm.
so he is not only is he going to get the VPs, but he's now generating more power in the power phase. It's
Yeah,
just like
huge
yeah,
snowball.
yep,
Yeah, big
snowballing right
snowball.
now.
Yeah. And I think yeah, and just making these discoveries with the Dr. Voodoo, finding out like, oh, okay, this little change happened, this little change happened. They really kind of like narrowed his focus and made it so that yeah, he's got to throw 4 secures. He's got his brother Daniel exclusively for extracts, but the yeah, he can't do the multiple possessions and yeah, it's they've really they've trimmed his claws quite a bit. I still think he's good. But I think it's harder to find. It might be harder to find opportunities to use him optimally as it was before, where he could just create like 3 VP swings in one round if he had enough power for it, or maybe more.
Yeah. Okay, so we're activating. Tatan is going to activate first. He has 2 models that have less health or they're close to dazing, and so he's. I mean, I mean, the first thought is like, okay, well, I better activate one of them so at least I get 4 activations. I'm certain I'm going to get 4 activations, or I can rely on getting 4 activations. Uh, if you because Rhino has enough power, he has enough power to take out both Bill and Sam in a single activation. But looks like Tatan has identified a very powerful option here with a throw of Rhino into into Black Cat. So
Yeah.
Black Cat is certainly going to go down here. I can't see a world where she lives, but I guess that's why we roll dice, though.
Yep. Big boy is going straight into little kitty. We'll see. Yeah, I think her luck might finally be running
There it
out.
goes.
Yep.
So we have an extract drop here, and Bill, I'm sure, will be picking it up. He has mission objective online. Um, we'll see if he adjusts or how he what he does next. I can't. I think he's going to have to move his character within 2 of another character, like to protect
Hmm.
it potentially. Uh, because Rhino is just going to move and rob him if he doesn't.
Yeah.
If he is range 3 of Luke Cage, then Luke Cage could obviously bodyguard the hit from, but I don't know if that's viable enough. I don't know if that'll stop Rhino from getting what he wants.
Yeah, I think so. And Jacob Deaton also pointed out having no sacrifice is a big deal. We see why there are very few bodyguard options on spider foes, if any at all. Sacrifice being probably the only one. So yeah, Black Cat's luck finally runs out. She was probably the only um, real soft point on the side of the spider foes in terms of like snaking objectives away. So yeah, it's is one of the beautiful things about MCP is that like it could feel like you're pushed back on your heels, but like you get one clear move and you can tilt things back in your favor. Still a really close game, only 3 points difference between these two teams. So, yeah, I am very curious to see if this is going to be a big swing round. There is a lot of power on the Avengers side right now. Don't know who they would choose for a Helios laser, but they got some choices.
Yeah, I think that this is it's good to have the piece on Bill because because if Well Laid Plans is played, it means that Nova would have to get 2 successes, which are only crits and wilds, on his Well Laid Plans card, and so it means that it's a more unlikely scenario to happen. It's much easier to rely on getting 1 crit or wild and forcing Iron Man, for example, to drop a legacy. But Bill
Hmm.
having it with that ability to reduce damage is is going to be important for delaying that. But the problem is Rhino's there. Like there's too many ways for Nova to get this piece that um, it it's just like it's a very hard puzzle to solve for Tatan to maintain an extract lead, because the second he gets an extract lead, it could easily be like snatched away from him with either of those steal options that are online. Like even Black Cat next turn will have the steal option online again. So you've only stopped her for this turn,
Hmm.
but next turn she's coming back with a vengeance basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's gonna have her grappling hook ready, kitty claws all out. Yeah, there is a bevy of theft options for Nova here. And I think that yeah, those will come to fruition for sure.
Matt, I
And
love your icons here. You got the horse, arrow, horse, arrow, rhino, cat, boom, explosion, and
that
yeah,
is
you
great.
nailed it. That's exactly what just happened. So here we go. We've got
Pictures
the
tell
second
stories.
action with Bill here. Let's see if he can put 4 damage on Rhino, and he doesn't not roll well. He gets 1 damage on Rhino, and uh, and Rhino is maxed out on power, has 3 health left. They
Not
both
gonna be
have
enough.
brace gone. I could see Rhino being in a situation where he just goes throws a temper tantrum in the middle of the board here, but
Hmm.
um, we'll see. He could easily take out. He could easily. So we have a Heroes for Hire lineup. It looks like. Are we out? I think.
Looks like it's so
I
close.
think we're out. If okay, it depends, right? Like if they're in, Tatan made a smart move, and if they're out, it was literally a millimeter like positional error. It was just the
Yeah.
smallest error that could. So I guess we'll find out. We have the attack that did go into Rhino. So he's just so that was very smart of Nova to basically try to understand the board state fully with that measurement to Luke Cage before
Hmm.
taking his aggressive. So he's really considering all of his options before he just he rushes. He doesn't rush the superpower.
Yeah. No, it's so um explain to me so the order of operations would be Rhino does attacks takes or Rhino would attack intending to steal, but then Luke Cage would be able to interrupt it and then stop him from even using this is a robbery in the first place.
So what would happen is Luke Cage would Heroes for Hire off of Bill, which would place him within 1 of Bill. Assuming Luke Cage doesn't die, um,
Hmm.
now Bill has the opportunity to mission objective in from Bill to Luke Cage as soon as the robbery card forces the drop. And so
Uh
really
oh,
it's really the Heroes for Hire. The main thing here, obviously the damage redirection is very powerful. It keeps Bill alive. But really the main thing, I think the main benefit is getting within range to mission objective.
okay. Hence you've got like a floor of power that you need to maintain
Yeah,
on those characters.
I think that the funny thing though is that we could potentially see this is a robbery into a well laid plans back to back, because if we have Bill forcing, we've got the mission objective onto Luke Cage. It just like we're back to this Iron Man situation where
Mhm.
you only need to roll 1 wild or 1 crit on Luke Cage and he's dropping that piece.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then Rhino has enough power to zoom away, basically. So we could see a Heroes for Hire, um, but and then him rotate Rhino away, and then Luke Cage is now on the wrong side of the board again. Like that's
Oh god.
so I although I think that the only problem I see with that plan is that uh, Rhino does only have 3 health left. So 3 attacks into him theoretically is like almost is very likely to kill him because damage reduction only goes down to 1. And Sam is going to get 2 throws on him for sure if Rhino doesn't deal with Sam. And and then you're only one hit away from dying. So we have well laid plans being played right now. Oh no, sorry. Hold on. Sorry, he touched the wrong card. Looks like
This is the robbery?
it's probably the robbery. He meant to flip the
Yeah.
robbery. Is what I think we're seeing.
And Luke Cage is outside of Heroes for Hire range, you were saying?
Okay, so he doesn't do the attack. He doesn't bait Heroes for Hire out,
Okay.
or use it. But he is. But it's smart of. It's pretty straightforward play here. It's much more straightforward than like the chain of events that I was suggesting. Bill, because no one is within 2 of Bill, he is going to drop the piece and get thrown, and there's nothing really to stop this.
Okay.
So he's. Oh, sorry, no, my bad. He's giving it to Sam. Of course, Sam's right there. I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
He's like
Yeah,
invisible to
that's
me
Sam.
because I'm so worried. I'm so focused on Luke Cage that like Sam was just like I couldn't even see him. He was camouflaged.
Yeah.
But yeah, so of course he mission objectives into Sam here, and um, now he is out of Heroes for Hire range. So Sam is in an uncomfortable position. Rhino has 2 options. He can either go for the attrition like by dazing Sam, which seems completely reasonable, or he could play well laid plans. I would personally just go for the attrition on Sam because Voodoo and Iron Man are still too far away to um, to deal with that.
Yeah.
So, although it's you can hear my brain like it's like my brain is like thinking in real time. You can hear my thoughts or they're just spewing out of my mouth right now, like in real time. But of course, if you daze Sam, you get a leadership trigger. You're gonna bring Voodoo closer to that side of the board, which means that the threat of taking back the extract is gonna be more present. I think Nova is being very deliberate here because of that situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, he wants to maintain the lead. He's got the tempos completely his, but yeah, if Voodoo gets over to that side of the map. Oh, but okay, Rhino is gonna go into Sam, it looks
Yeah,
like.
he spent 3 for that push, so he's gonna get 2 extra dice on his attack roll. It's what is it called? No one. No, it's called a stampede. Is what he paid for.
Stampede, yeah.
So we have 2 blocks with Sam, 3 on Nova. We're gonna get a faux reroll here, which could determine if he gets dazed, if Sam gets dazed or not. Yep. So here we go. He needs to roll another block,
So
and he
oh,
doesn't get it. Yeah, that's there we go. Spider-Foe leadership just killed Sam or injured him.
made the difference there, yeah. So token's gonna drop. That's only gonna put man, so yeah. So Nova is gonna regain that second objective again. Um
Yeah. Pumpkins in the chat. That's good.
they're back. Oh my god.
Yeah. You love to see
Yeah.
it, all right. You love to see the enthusiasm for the spider foes here.
Yeah. Next we need a Winter Guard game. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but man can dream.
Yeah, that's great. Ah,
But yeah,
man.
I man, Tatan is playing like a hell of a game at making really good decisions. Um, it's so difficult when like the tempo is not yours and you're trying to wrestle stuff back. I am curious though, who is going to be under the effects of the Sam leadership after Sam got dazed? What do you still think Voodoo would be the prime candidate to get over to that position?
Yeah, uh I think so. I mean, that's like the obvious pick because like you are very concerned basically at this point in terms of your your extract position, and he obviously impacts extracts. If he um like it's just this is just very I'm just seeing lots of options for Nova, and we've got a narrow window of opportunity for Tatan. So um it's just yeah, it's there's a lot of things that Nova can do. There's a lot of things Nova can do, and there's just not a lot of things that Tatan can do to maintain um, your opportunity to eke this one out or whatever. Like we've got like that well laid plans card is just like the second Voodoo. If Voodoo activates too early, Well-Laid Plans is played, and then Voodoo's Extract Steel doesn't matter. Like
Mhm.
it's erased basically that round, and then we're back to a significant amount of pressure on the score that from Nova. So yeah, let's see what Tatan does, or what let's see what Nova does with the second action from Rhino.
Yeah, pretty critical. Gonna be in range 4? Because Voodoo could do.
Yeah,
Oh no,
thanks,
this is
Matt
not
Alex
really
in the
good.
chat. Yeah, it's he's rooting for the spider foes. Spider something is what I'm getting. The
Spider
message I'm
something.
getting here. All right.
As long
Uh,
as in New York City, it's fine.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
But yeah, the well-laid plans card, that being there, it's just I don't know. It kind of feels like Green Goblin just like laced the entire block with like bombs, so it doesn't matter what the hell you do. Like he's gonna get what he wants, regardless. So let's see, is Rhino gonna grab that objective?
Rhino. What I'm trying to decipher the chat. The chat's speaking in hieroglyphics here. Rhino punches out a boxing glove. Punches us down. What is that? What is that? All
Looks
right,
like
all right. Someone's gonna have to explain that to me. I'm missing it, but yeah, that's good. Okay.
a yeah. Voodoo's
Oh,
not gonna attack it.
Rhino, Matt, us pushes Rhino. The Rhino push is just like what the fart. Okay, all right. This is awesome. This is awesome. I appreciate the activity in the chat. This is making this game pretty wild here with this.
Chat, chat's going nuts. I love it. Oh my gosh.
Okay, all right. So us down is showing okay. Us US flag. Okay. It's the US flag is what I'm supposed to be seeing, but maybe
Rhino
I didn't
beat us
download the
down.
I didn't yeah, I didn't maybe I didn't download the newest Twitch emoji pack or something, but either way. All right, so Rhino's is using his second activation, and he is opting to run further away from Voodoo. I think that I mean there was reasonable. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that there was no escape from Voodoo in that situation, though.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's fine. Maybe closer to Awk would have been better. Um, but we'll see. Voodoo has enough power to force the drop, so Voodoo is gonna pick this up in a single move. Um, the something to point out about the new Awk that's coming out soon is that oh, there we go. The vaccine. Yeah, of course we're playing Legacy Virus, so of
Oh,
course
okay.
Rhino punched the USA, of course, because that's the Sam, and then he drops the vaccine. That drops the virus. Yeah, of course that's.
Izzy, you're an artist and a genius. Thank you.
Oh, God. All right. Wow. It's like that's very good. So um, let's see. Voodoo. So Rhino's stuck there. He can't really move anywhere else. Voodoo is can activate um second last basically, but I was just gonna say that the Nuwok is like I think he's gonna be sweet because the you're rolling 5 dice with double wilds every single time. You don't like Wolverine does that. I mean he does have the pierce,
Hmm.
um but you're rolling it's like almost as good as Wolverine's attack and you get to do it all the time. Matt says
Yeah.
size 3 range 3 throw, like that's crazy. I think that man, Nuwalk is gonna hit way like harder like than people have been talking about that what I've seen. I don't read everything, but um and I can you play well laid plans with Nuwalk?
No,
You
unfortunately
can't.
not.
All right, okay.
Yeah. I would love for them to run it to be Otto Octavius,
Ah,
but it's yeah, yeah. But yeah, in his leadership, so freaking cool. Like Spider Foes have the biggest, best, strong, tough potatoes next to Criminal Syndicate. So yeah, having that leadership, giving him an extra power, basically being like immune to like I think what is it,
yeah,
shock and incinerate and stuff. Like
exactly. Shock, incinerate, slow. You're basically immune to those on attacks. Obviously,
yeah,
if you if you shock the character twice in a turn, then the second one will get through. But But yeah, like how often do you get attacked twice and would have got shocked twice? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it's they're gonna feel like they're immune to those conditions. And it's
Yeah.
Broccoli Violet says it's only if they damage you. If no damage, you don't cure it. So that is an important point. Like if you roll a wild one and that's your only success, and that triggers an incinerate or something, and you block all that damage, you still get hit by the ability. But basically, it's only going to affect you until you get attacked again. And with this extract pressure that Nova is demonstrating here, like there's going to be a lot of situations where you're going to be attacked because the other team is going to need to attrition you in order to take the extracts back, and
Yeah.
and then you're going to heal those conditions.
Yeah, I love it. It just like that's what I thought like Winter Guard was gonna play like when I first started him, but like seeing Doc Ock, I'm like, oh yeah, I really like the idea of playing a team that just wants to get into a hockey fight and just like we grab each other's jersey and just wail on each other until somebody falls down. Let's play like that. Like that's yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of fun.
that's cool. That's cool. But you know what? They have the flexibility to play Rhino and Black Cat and all
Yeah.
those things. Like you're getting like you attack Black Cat, right? And she gets the power for the damage, but then she gets an extra power, right? Same with
Hmm.
Rhino getting Rhino. You attack a couple times. Normally he'd go up to 5 power, maybe 6 power, something like that. Now he's at 8 power. I don't know, just like
Yeah,
um,
it's
you can
crazy.
pay for expensive tactic cards if you want. Yeah, exactly. Rhino gets hit for 1 and gets 3 power. That's exactly right. That's a lot.
Hmm.
That's a lot. So sacrifice seems like a good card under Ock, right? You basically are you can choose which characters get you power. If you this character needs extra power. Well, let's sacrifice into them, and maybe they take damage, and boom, now you got an extra power on them.
Yeah, it's so nice. Yeah,
TG Lords played Ock yesterday is what I'm reading, and yeah, that's cool.
yeah, played
That's
him with
cool.
the Crossbones too. Pretty fun. Crossbones with a bunch of power, like yeah.
Okay, so we have an Iron Man attack um into Rhino, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Must be. Seems like the only character in range.
Yeah.
We have 1 damage going through on Rhino, is what I'm seeing. Auto push, but he is against the wall, so it's like probably not going anywhere. Rhino has the ability to move closer, and that's probably Iron Man's activation. So, because he's done a move and an attack, Rhino getting onto the point. Yeah, that uh,
Oh man, yeah. So yeah, if Rhino's braced up against something and you do a push attack on him, he actually gains ground on you.
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I think that he's Rhino doesn't. I think that what Nova's probably seeing is that I'm already within range to be possessed and a token stolen from me.
Hmm.
So no matter what, Voodoo is going to get the piece. And so, how do I get on the point anyway? And I would say yes. I would say that you might as well just get on the secure because, like we discovered, like I discovered in the middle of this game, uh, that Voodoo's possession doesn't work on secures anymore. So I would say you'd put him on
Yeah.
the point, but it looks like Nova's opting not to. Bill is a size 2. Broccoli Violet just asked.
Bill is a size two?
Yeah, Bill is a size 2.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, so he is susceptible to throws and pushes uh, on from anyone basically, right? Every size,
Yeah.
every push or throw is at least size 2 or bigger. Um, and but the only I mean that aggressive really helps him counter a lot of different options. So really, he's only
Hmm.
susceptible to like superpower throws and superpower pushes.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's also airliftable, I guess, then
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Yep.
That's handy. Yeah, super impressed with how they have like subtle little wrinkles in each of the characters that give them like different balance points and stuff. That's yeah, very impressive.
All right, so I'm trying to decipher what's going on here. It looks like a couple people are putting something very similar in the chat. I got a timing. We got a light bulb, a cardinal, or we got a bird, lightning, timing, or hourglass light.
Time fly?
let's
What?
do.
No.
Oh, we have what's incoming for foes. We
Oh
have
man,
a we
so much good
have
stuff.
a. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, he's putting all the they're all the different new characters
Oh,
coming out. So we have
Vulture,
Sandman,
Electro.
Shocker, Electro, and Vulture. Yeah, there it is. And so we have the same thing on. Looks like we're seeing some similar things here.
Nice.
It's yeah, yeah. Drink your
God.
Ovaltine.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, I think. Let's see. So they've still got Tatan's still got Luke Cage, still got Voodoo. Oh, there's still 3 activations on the side of Nova too.
Yeah, yeah.
Man.
So he has to go with somebody. Now let's see. What does Lizard have? Lizard has 2 power, so he's probably just staying there. Um, yeah, good night, buddy. And so we've got Goblin has 6 power. He's not going to make the other secure. You're going to if you need to rotate on B and you want to get on the other secure, you need a long mover at least to do it, or you need a obviously you need a character that has like additional movement. Um, and that's not what Goblin has. Goblin doesn't have additional movement on this side of his card, so he is probably going to hit and run and retreat back, putting some damage on Iron Man potentially to just put pressure on him next round is what I'm imagining is happening.
Yeah. And if you can land an Incinerate, that does change things a bit.
So
Um,
another thing to note, actually, I'm thinking is that like if let's say he gets Iron Man like let's say he gets him to 1 health. I mean that's like a nice to have. I don't think that'll happen, but that well laid plans flips Iron Man, right? The well laid plans
ooh,
if you can get that wild or crit. So any sort of damage helps get you closer to that, and so that's we could also see just like a little bit of setup for that. It doesn't
hmm
hurt. You've got the extra power. You've got if you hit and run and you don't get any power, you still have enough. You still have enough for well laid plans. So there's I don't see a big harm in it. I know that the opportunity and Iron Man can't heroes for hire or anything like that. So it's he's just sitting there with nothing to defend himself from the next attack.
yeah, man. And there is just yeah, and they could yeah, it's only 3 power each. Man, that is just a really nice ace up your sleeve to have at this point in the game.
Yeah, I think Infinity is like the perfect form, the perfect uh, secure for it too as well.
hmm Yeah, 100%. Because yeah, that is the thing that can happen with spider foes is that it's just you can end up with like a power trough and just not have you have all these toys and you don't have the power to use them. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's made such a big difference with how much they've been able to accelerate the game.
All
Luke
right.
Cage moving
So
in.
yeah, looks like he's putting himself in a spot to win the secure. It basically forces Ock to be on the secure, likely, um, and but it also means that he probably cannot get Ock to attack anyone and interact. He's got a like. Ock has a size 3 throw, so he could sacrifice his well laid plans option
hmm
to displace Luke Cage off the point. Um, I am not sure. Basically, like we'll see how what Nova decides to do here. He could. There's. It's tricky because if Ock uses his second action to attack Luke Cage or something like that, um, Luke Cage could play Heroes for Hire on himself and displace Ock off the point, winning
Oh,
him
that's
the
right.
point. So it's it's got the chat going pretty crazy with their but yeah, so let's see. There's options for Tatan to uh win the secures here and maybe catch up a little bit, uh, especially with possession on Voodoo. Let's see
Mhm.
what happens. I am imagining Doc Ock goes very last. That's just why not? Because you're yeah, why wouldn't you? Because he can rotate away if he wants to, if he feels like he needs to, or like he could just like displace Luke Cage and walk away. I don't know if actually I
Mhm.
don't know if that's a good idea or not, but um, he has the most options available to him, and he seems protected. He's behind a size 2 car. He has cover because he's size 2. So um, yeah, let's see what happens. Voodoo could possess Doc Ock with a double move take. I think that's a very real possibility.
Yeah, that's true. Um, man, that would man. Yeah,
I think that
I
that
don't know.
actually might be the problem. I mean, it's still a problem because Voodoo would be rolling less dice, and Ock could get 2 wilds, and then Voodoo's like a real problem, right? Like he's
Yeah,
like, I mean,
yeah.
he's going down quick with if he get a couple wilds on Nova's Ock. Plus, he's got that terrain throw.
Mhm.
Sorry, it's a trainer character throw. I believe it's a size 2. Let's see what this says here. Size 2 within 3, so we can throw Voodoo, throw the car. Um,
Mhm.
there are there is a clapback potential if Voodoo just like kind of sticks his neck out and gets that possession. So, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Ooh, Goblin moving up. Nice. Yeah, and I think yeah, saving Voodoo for last was smart. But yeah, looks like it's gonna be pumpkin bombs going into Iron Man here.
Ock could just throw Bill out if he feels like Wally plans is not the move. Yeah, exactly. I think that Voodoo just like
Wow.
replaces whichever one he throws away, maybe. But yeah, it's totally. I think it's viable. All right, so we have
Ooh.
1 damage through because of damage reduction, but he does get a. We've got a Spider Foe reroll on that 1 success. Let's see if we can get 2 through. He does. So 2 through and Incinerate, Poison, or Bleed. Maybe a Bleed. Okay, no, he puts an Incinerate on him. He's setting up the. I'm imagining this is just setting up the Doc Ock one shot and move in, one shot him, pick up the other legacy potential. I
Mhm.
think, and that's why I think Tatan put Luke Cage there to try to stop Ock from being able to do that.
Oh yeah, it's a smart move. Yeah. Man, this is
All right, we
when
got there we go another successful damage through on Spider Foes, and we're seeing it in the chat. All right. That's, oh man,
every
let's
time
go. Man. Yeah, yeah. Let's
every time Goblin goes in, just the pumpkins start flying
there
everywhere. I
that
love
yeah, I
it.
mean that was a pumpkin bomb attack for sure, right? That was
Yeah,
let's see.
100%.
The pumpkin bombs. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I love them.
Out of my, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Man, I don't think I don't think he's an actual spider foe, but I would love for them to have Hobgoblin too. I don't think he's a spider foe though. But Hobgoblin would be so cool. In this
Yeah,
phase, dude.
yeah. I think that from what we've seen, we've been teased that the Spider Foes like are gonna get a they're getting. I mean, we've already talked about it in the chat. Like they're getting a bunch of new characters. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really cool to see Sandman on the board. He's got those 2 grunt character things,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever they're called, and yeah, Vulture. Like I mean, just like you get 4 more Spider Foes. That's it's crazy. It's crazy. They already have the cool different options available to them, but yeah, it's I don't know what to say. Like they're gonna feel even better.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. And it's cool because like you've got like it's hard to compete with like an iconic team like Avengers and like X-Men and stuff, but like they've done some of the affiliations. So like I love Criminal Syndicate, love the Spider Foes. They've done really, really right by a lot of those affiliations. So super, super cool. Um, man, but we've got Ak and Voodoo left. This is gonna be pretty pivotal activations here, I think. Man, yeah.
Yeah,
But
Broccoli Violet. I was thinking the same thing here. I was just looking at Ock's sculpt here in TTS, and it's the rival pack one, which is sweet, and I think that either I think Nova must have opted to use the alt sculpt, but I don't know for sure if this is like the default one or not. But like, yeah, it's obviously this one is sweet, and the new one is I think is even cooler. But yeah, the lizard popping out of the sewer. I mean, they all are so sick, and so yeah, it's they definitely have some of my favorite sculpts in the line for sure. It's the default
yeah,
one on TTS. Yeah, it basically should be right because it's obviously the better of the two.
yeah, so good.
Vulture is
Let's
the
see.
honestly the only weak one. Well, I think that I guess we'll see. I think because obviously the pictures and things are different than in person, but um, I wouldn't know how to make him like. It looks like he's doing a ballerina poses. Okay, okay, all right. Well, he's just yeah. I don't know what to say about that. I guess so. Maybe he's
It's
the
hard.
weak one.
Yeah, it's hard to channel like the real Michael Keaton into a little model like that, but got it's what you got to work with.
Yeah. They also I think Atomic Mass Games had a Sandman stream where they painted him. I haven't checked that out. I just saw like a few clips of it, but um, so I'll have to see how that looks.
Honestly, I've heard too, like the not all the models like photograph really well, but they look way better in person. Like I forgot who I heard it from, but I think like Iron Man didn't look super great on in photos, but somebody had seen him in person. He looks fantastic. It's yeah, not everything super translates that easily. Um,
So we have
Platinum.
Voodoo. We have Voodoo moving up. Looks like he is deciding if he wants to do a second action, um, or like what his second action is going to be. I'm not sure what the best option forward here is. But I think that you might be in a situation where you're doing a possession and you're hoping that you're probably heroes for hiring. Oh, but you don't have enough power to possess and pick up the piece and get heroes for hire to pay for heroes for hire. So Tatan, it's like feeling the effects of not having his characters on Infinity potentially.
Mhm.
It's a tricky. Definitely a puzzle here. He might be in a situation where he has to just um, he's gonna looks like he's gonna possess Doc Ock so that if Voodoo lives, Doc Ock cannot pick up the legacy virus back up. I think this is a very smart move for Tatan to bring himself back into the game, and Voodoo is going to have one power after he does this, which means if he takes one damage um, on the first attack from Ock, it means that he will be able to heroes for hire the second attack.
Mm. Nice.
So let's see what happens here. Aw could obviously he could displace as well. He's got the throw, so he could throw Cage into Voodoo if he wanted to. Um, but okay, let's see what we have going on here. I think Tatan is setting up his next round really well. He has Rhino at low health, so he could potentially take out Rhino with a good Bill activation or even a good Sam activation.
Hmm.
And so I think that I think that he Tatan has done everything he needs to stay in this game. This is now I think Nova needs to break through Voodoo here a little bit. If he gets even if he gets if he is able to pull like 5 damage, right? That's a throw into Voodoo for an auto kill. I mean, obviously, like that requires a spike, but like, I don't know, man. You got two defense dice. I see two defense
Yeah,
dice,
yeah. Two defend. Yeah, yeah.
and I'm
That's
like,
it.
I go in.
Yeah, you have to take those odds. You have to. It's yeah. It's too delicious not to. But yeah, these are the real pivotal moments in MCP where you just like a lot can be decided by just like two activations. Um, yeah, but huge props to Tatan for like staying tenacious, like keeping his head straight, and just not letting the board state like shake him at all. So I've been really, really impressed with how he's gotten the board state back into his favor, or at least neutral. Because it's really,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Nova gave him no breathing room at all to get back into this game. So yeah, Tatan's been an awesome, awesome tenacious gamer
Yeah,
here.
I think he found like he found the path basically, the golden path
Hmm.
to claw his way back into a pretty it's pretty even positioning here. He's gonna be if nothing changes, it looks like um oh man, I think we're gonna see Wally plans actually right now, and then
You
yep,
got
there it
two
is. Wow,
targets.
look at that! I called it like
Okay.
right. Right
Damn.
yeah, it just seemed like it just made the most sense. I think that's why he was thinking so long. But yeah, he this is going this if I think this is the nail in the coffin kind of situation, right? Like you okay? He started clawing his way back. Pumpkins in the chat. Let's see. And then the well-laid plans basically just like stops the clawback. Like it just shuts it down right in its tracks. Let's see. He needs to roll crits and wilds, one of them at least on Voodoo. And does he get it? He gets it. That's exactly what he
Ooh.
needed. And so Voodoo's gonna drop the piece. That was I cannot understate how critical that roll was there. He's gonna now be able to two tap Voodoo or even one hit him, pick up the piece because he's gonna probably get a damage through, and then run away.
Oh man.
Probably. So let's see what Iron Man does. He could even pick up two if he gets. No, he couldn't pick up two. It's not enough. But he gets it again. Wow, he got both of them. That's exactly what you need. Let's get some pumpkins in the chat. Yeah, let's fill
Jeez.
that chat with pumpkins because that's an effective well laid plans.
The Avengers are nothing in the face of the mighty
Yeah, let's go
Spider-Verse.
octopus. Yeah, let's. I love that. What is that? The octopus and the pumpkin. Yeah, there we go. That's that's
Oh,
awesome.
that's great. That's great. Such
Yeah,
a
yeah.
genius move. Love it.
Yeah, very. He
Love
played. Yeah, another very well played. It's like 70% per character. Yeah, and I'm sure Bill on Bill the percentage is a little lower, but yeah. So Nova realized he can't pick up the second virus regardless of where it ends up. So he is opting. He just wants to generate one power here on Voodoo and then probably retreat back is what I would imagine. I don't think I saw it was wild and then wild, so no crits. But I believe what Matt is referring to here is that because Ock played the card, um, if you roll wild, when he rolls wilds, you get power, and
it.
so
Oh.
it's like a double whammy. If you roll a crit, you get the drop the extract and you get a power on Goblin. Oh yeah, that's right, Broccoli Violet. Yeah, good call. He is still possessed actually, so he's really still hoping. Um, oh, I see. So there's a little bit of um, there's a bit of a challenge here on Ock's side, on the Spiderfoe side, and that's that he is still possessed, and by hitting Voodoo for one, it gave him enough power to Heroes for Hire um, right away. So it wasn't the well-laid plans wasn't as effective as I was thinking it was initially. I was overridden by the hype. The hype just like completely
Yeah. Yeah.
but wow, holy moly. Look at that. Look at okay, look at that block by Tatan.
Oh my god.
So good block, no damage. And yeah, um that possession with Voodoo and now with Luke Cage taunting, um he throws Ock away. Ock doesn't have any power. He has one power from the crit roll, but he can't interact with the pieces. So what happened was Nova put them in positions where one character couldn't get both, so that he can activate a character next round to pick up the whatever one was left on the ground.
Mhm.
So it did slow the scoring for Tatan, so that he's not going to be close, right? He's going to have his 2 points from the secures, but so
Mhm.
is Nova, but he's going to have the virus on Rhino. So Nova just extended his lead by another point. He's now up by 4 VPs. But yeah, Broccoli Violet. That's right, exactly. It was um, you still paid for a tactic card that cost your opponent 2 VPs. That's very. I think it was the right time to play it, regardless of the being possessed. Um,
Yeah.
so this is where Voodoo wants to be, though. Voodoo wants to be in a spot where um, he is protected by Luke Cage. Now, of course, he's not fully protected. Rhino could ruin his day, but at least he has some protection here. I think that Tatan is probably going to activate or look for a daze on Rhino. That would obviously drop the legacy virus, but it would also, I think, it would protect Voodoo for the turn, and keep that possession on Ock. So yeah, I think that's. So I think that Tatan has great positioning here. Um, and now I'm concerned that Nova. I think that Nova might need to rotate, but I haven't run the numbers.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. The other thing I'm looking at too is that there is a lot of potential dazes on the side of Titan, and Sam is injured right now. He's only got 5 health, and I don't know if you run the risk of trying to focus him down to get rid of that. Is the leadership gone, or do you get one final leadership trigger if you do knock out Sam?
You do not get a final leadership trigger if you KO Sam.
Okay. Um, Yeah, and I don't know if you pivot over to more attrition in this round, if you're Nova. Because Sam right in front of Rhino and Black Cat, like it feels juicy, but I don't know. I don't know if it would be worth it to just try to just take him out of the board initially. You don't even have priority though, so it's up to Tatan like how he wants
Yeah,
to open this round.
I think that the most clear option to me um, is going to be going into Rhino. Now, you do have a ton of power, so Iron Man could do it with Helios. If you, I mean, you could take out anyone you wanted here with Helios. I think that um, looks like Nova needs to like basically get a piece and get out of there.
Hmm.
Um, because if Tatan scores 8 points over the next 2 rounds, he's only at 15. But if Nova scores 3 points over the next 2 rounds, that puts him at 17. So
Yeah.
Nova needs to score. He needs to score at least 2 victory points this round, which he can with his Goblin and Lizard. Um, and he needs to score 3 points next round. I think that's totally possible. You just don't want Tatan to score 5 points this round, or you're in a situation where he can outscore you the round after, I believe. So Broccoli Vite is saying Cat would be my number one target, and I think that um, yeah, I could see that. She can move and grab the virus and then move like the virus by Iron Man and then move back and then also grappling hook onto Lizard's point, who then Lizard could then start rotating and displacing potentially. But let's see who we're attacking here. We don't have. We've got three power. One power. Okay, I don't know who is attacking who yet. We've got a
Once you
5 dice roll into 2 blocks. So Uh, well, it was Voodoo into Liz. It was Voodoo into Rhino.
oh, okay.
So Rhino blocks nothing, and he takes 1 damage. So unless Voodoo whiffs on this attack, um, Rhino is going to get got here. So it looks like Voodoo is going to be. I mean, he's going to be attacking Rhino here. I would imagine. Um, you could throw. You can't throw terrain anymore. That's gone. So it looks like Tatan is thinking, if I like, what do I do here? Do I pick up the piece? Do I attack Rhino? I think you attack Rhino in this situation. You do leave 2 pieces on the ground, which it does give the opportunity. Okay, let's see here. So it looks like he's measuring up, grabbing the 1 piece. I can see this being okay because in that situation, you're basically hoping Rhino doesn't like gore everyone off the board,
And
which
he's sitting on
is
10 power, which is
yeah,
possible.
it is very possible. It is a tricky position for Tatan because he really needed Rhino to die in 1 hit there, and if he
Yes.
rolled 2 more successes, it would have happened. Like 3 out of 5 successes in that case would have got him. But all right, he's going into Black Cat now. He's identified that Black Cat is the risk. Broccoli Violet made a good call on that one.
Good call.
Yeah. So he's hoping to one shot her here, but he's basically hexed because of Black Cat,
Yeah.
her ability. So, holy moly, let's go. Okay, so he rolled a spender into Black Cat. So the power burn, it's one shot. Black Cat's gone because the
Oh
power
my
burn is
god.
first going to lose her 2 power and nets 2 damage, and then you've got wow, that is literally a perfect roll. That's as perfect as you can expect. That was
That was almost as good as
massive.
priority roll earlier.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh! Wow, that I think that single-handedly just um, that could have potentially flipped the game. The only
Yeah.
thing is that um, the only thing I'm seeing is that there are hmm yeah, this is kind of flipped. I think it's
Yeah.
Rhino is gonna die in one hit no matter what. He's gonna could he? Oh, I was gonna say, could he get all of the extracts? And he could, but you're not instantly KO'd like you were before. You have to survive into the cleanup phase, which he would not do. So,
That would be the most Rhino thing to do is just run around in circles, grabbing everything and running away.
but he just doesn't. He's gonna have to go ham with Rhino here,
Yeah.
and kill Voodoo so that Ock can interact. That is probably the chain of events that I see happening. The other option is can Green Goblin pick up a legacy now that um, the steal is gone, Voodoo has activated right away. We might see someone like Lizard go and grab that virus. He could probably, but then we're gonna see a Helios counter. Like, I mean, there's just so much.
Yeah.
There's so many. That was a huge swing, I think, by taking out Black Cat. Wow.
Yeah, that was enormous. Yeah, there's so many different paths. All of a sudden, like when it's for the game seemed like there was only one golden path, like you said, possible. But now, like there's so many different options that could play out in so many different ways, depending on who is going to activate when. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, because Rhino's sitting on full power with an objective on him. Sam's right in front of him, injured. But then Voodoo too, he doesn't have Brother Daniel on him, so Voodoo's incredibly squishy. He can't recall Brother Daniel on the first attack. He's gonna suffer. So this is rare moment where Voodoo is pretty squishy. Yeah, so many considerations. I'm
Yeah.
bet the players are thankful there's no clock right now because this would be rough.
I think we're gonna see a. I think that who made this? Double Gore Draco Morris. I think he made the right call in terms of the play. If you gore into one character and then you gore into another and then you pick up that legacy and then stampede further towards Goblin Lizard, it puts Tatan in a position he uh, um, where he has to deal with that Rhino or he loses.
Yeah.
And it also puts the virus much closer to Tatan's side of the board. So if you do deal with Rhino, you could have Goblin or Lizard pick up the piece and still get back onto the point. So he looks like he's opting to Stampede first.
Hmm.
I think that you're uh, I think that you're better off stampeding last, but I'm not entirely sure. He is also looking to get to the corner of the board, but you know what? Sam is going to get you. Sam will catch you. He's got his range is insane. You only take 1 damage. I think
Hmm.
this is this is not the right move in this situation, from what I can see.
It also leaves the risk of Helios Laser up too if Tony's still standing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's actually that's you nailed it. You nailed it.
yeah. Um, Yeah, leave it because this is the one of the few windows where you could take him out, buy at least one more round before Helios Laser lands. So too many choices. It's rough.
Oh man,
Rhino, yeah,
yeah,
looks like
yeah. This is so you nailed it. I didn't realize Iron Man is on 1 health, so his damage reduction effect doesn't do anything. Um, and yeah, if you um, yeah, I think that's you. I think Iron Man was the key piece to take down there.
yeah, it's almost
And
guaranteed if you
oh
bore
man,
him with Stampede. Like, yeah,
yeah.
it's yeah.
It's a little. It's a little like you don't want to see this, right? Because like we believe this is a misplay, and we think this is like I think this is a game defining blunder potentially, and so you hate to see that happen. Um, when there's a move that it feels obvious to us, but of course, um, we have to see how it plays out, right? Because this could still play out in either player's favor. The winner is too hard to tell at this point. So
Yeah,
let's see how it goes.
yeah. Stampede's gonna crush that poor little beetle car. Um, and yeah, leave Rhino able to pick up that objective. But yeah, it's tough because like you're trying to consider everything that happens, everything your opponent could do. Every decision. Okay, all right, Rhino's he's out of there. Um, is Hilo? Oh, Hilo's okay. So Hilo's laser's range 5. Okay, that's no problem for Tony.
Joa Mithar, I don't think Goblin can grab that legacy. I think that if he could have, he would have grabbed it with like a hit and run or something like that. So like it seems like the clear best play if that was possible. So it looks like Goblin Lizard are out from being able to sneak that point. Um, I think we're measuring range 5 because of the Helios, but that is not possible with Iron Man's range here. Um, yeah, I think if hmm, I think the answer is you go with the Sam shield throw charge.
Yeah,
He's
because that'd be yeah, yeah, that'd
you're
definitely be
looking at
enough.
heroes. We're looking at a spender from Luke Cage potentially, but he's got a range 3 spender. Yeah, there's lots of options. Damage reduction minimum 1 doesn't matter when you have 1 health left.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a fun inflection point of defensive tech, where it's like it's really good for a while and then it's just going to fail you. It only lasts for so long. I don't know if Sam has an airlift option here to get Tony in range, but it looks like he might not be looking for that. I don't know.
Yeah, he's yeah, there you go. Well, this is that's the play, but it's Tatan who is measuring that
Mm-hmm.
option. So yeah, so based on the rulers, yes, Goblin could hit and run into Iron Man, which is forcing Iron Man to go, or yes, we could see an airlift we could see an airlift protecting Iron Man from the attack. Let's see what he does. So he's opting to pick up the piece with Iron Man um, and probably retreat back to an infinity formula here.
Okay. So it looks like a handshake of objectives. Titan's just gonna play it slow too.
Yep. So uh, Ock still can't interact with the extracts, so it's still super punishing for him. Um, he can because Black Hat is gone too. It means that Tatan now has the last activation on the round, and that's later in the game. Like that is so important for like making sure you own the secures.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Absolutely.
yeah. So this game, um, that Black Hat activation is going to put Tatan in a position to win. I think with this, and I think that we're going to see Sam throw into Shield into Rhino and pick up that third virus. So who
And
has the other one? Oh, the other one is still by Doc Ock on the ground,
oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. No, no,
Oh
no.
wait.
Rhino picked it up. Rhino has two.
Rhino's got it. Rhino's got 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if Rhino does not daze here, I think that Nova wins the game, but
Mm-hmm.
he'll win the game in the following round, from what I can see. But um, maybe not. I mean, we could even see a triple virus play here because we're gonna have 2 on Sam in all likelihood, and we'll have yeah, it's
Yeah.
there's this is
That would be
crazy.
yeah, yeah. Real back and forth um match. Like man, Nova was just it looked like Titan was just on the ropes the entire time. And it wasn't it usually like, the rubber band mechanic of MCP is typically like getting power when you take damage, but uh Nova was not doing any damage. These were all decision points that Titan made. A really smart positioning, really good placement of his resources. to get the map back from just a really just he was cornered. He was completely cornered and was able to just like squeeze his way out and yeah, just wrestle back the tempo. Pretty nuts.
Yeah,
Um,
it looks like Iron Man is not on the point. I think that's. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Um, and I don't know if the players agree he's on the point or not. It could be a body block.
mhm.
Or I'm not sure what the thinking is there, but not having Iron Man on the point. Sometimes TTS doesn't display the secure overhead if you use the range 1 tool and placed exactly max distance on the range 1 tool. So both players might have agreed that he is on the point, but we'll find out when they do score it, basically is what I'm
Yeah,
seeing.
yeah, yeah. That does look extremely close, but yeah, if I had to bet, I'd say he's out. But we'll find out. Um, yeah, critical activations we got. I mean, you still got Sam, still got Bill, still got Luke. Um, Goblin.
If Lizard is in the range to throw Iron Man, I think the play is to throw him into that terrain piece and then pick up the virus.
Hmm.
But I don't know if he has the range. I think Tatan was measuring it. We'll have to see. But okay, so we've got Goblin throwing into Luke Cage, probably so that he can ideally Ock could finish him off because then he can start attacking Voodoo because Ock cannot attack Voodoo in the current position.
Yeah, I don't. The one drawback with Green Goblin is that, he's four of your threat budget, and sometimes he's just parked on a point, and it's really difficult to like get off shots for him. Like he's such an explosive character when he can start double attacking people, but with the map this spread out, um, yeah, he's kind of committed there. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, top stuff. Yeah.
If he does hit and run Goblin, we're probably looking at a spender into Luke Cage just to try to put even more damage through on Luke Cage here. And
Hmm.
but let's see, we've got Nova looking to go here. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, that's really close. I don't know if Lizard can get in throw range of Tony here.
It just needs to be in range 2. I think
Oh,
it's
okay,
yeah,
okay,
so I
yeah.
think he gets in range 2 of Tony. I think the play is to grab the virus from them. It gets you only 2 points this round. Like I said, Sucklord could have 2 points this round, and then if he gets 3 next round, he wins.
Hmm.
I believe. But if he only scores 2 points, it looks like Tatan is going to score 4. So I mean, we're looking at a 13-11 score. Um, and then we'd be looking at I don't know. I think it's close. I think that Tatan
Yeah.
could be edging this one out. We'll see. We've
Looks
got
like
an
Doc Ock.
attack into. Oh, Voodoo only has 1 power, so he
Yeah,
can't
he's going
taunt
for
right now. He
Voodoo.
can't. He can't. That doesn't matter.
He can't
Heroes for
recall.
hire is Voodoo would pay, but the taunt is what Luke Cage pays, but Luke Cage didn't pay for it.
He's got the power. Oh, weird.
I'm not sure what's happening here. Or who's defending is the main question.
Rolling four. I think it is Luke if he's rolling four dice.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well he recalled the token. Did he? Hold
Oh,
on.
wait, no, he didn't have power to recall a token. I think.
He
I think.
spent 3 power on Voodoo. He did. So he recalled
Oh, he
it.
did. Okay,
No, hold on.
my
I'm
mistake.
trying to think. No, no, I don't know. Second here. Did um he rolled 2 crits. He rolled 2 natural
Oh, secret.
crits. So
Thank you, broccoli.
yeah. There you go. Yeah, I figured that could have been possible.
Excuse me.
But yeah, he did. That's exactly what he did. He rolled hot.
Rolling hot, baby. So does that give Voodoo still doesn't have enough to recall Brother Daniel though?
Yeah, but I think that yeah, still had scientific hubris. That's why I got a power from that roll. But um, hmm, I don't. It's a tricky position. Nova needs to. I think Nova still is hoping on that Rhino
Mm-hmm.
play to save him. He's hoping that Rhino's defense will hold up against It's just like, ah, man, it's very risky.
Yeah. Can you just not get touched for 3 attacks, 4 attacks? Can you, yeah,
Yeah, because
that's the real
Bill, if
question.
if Sam can't do it, Bill's gonna probably move Spender or something like that. I mean, he could even airlift Bill. Sam could,
Yeah,
like, with his plenty of power to do that, and Bill, yeah. Okay, so we're seeing a displacement probably then. Who's getting
smart.
displaced? We're displacing Sam.
Okay.
Let's see what type of throw this is.
The
It's a
short throw.
short throw, so um, we'll see what impact that has. What I think the impact here is that Sam cannot be in position to pick up the virus um, if he has to do 2 attacks. But I still think that let's see what he does. I still think that so it looks like he only has range to do 1 attack. I think you airlift
Yeah.
Bill, and you put Bill in a position to also get an attack, and in case this whiffs.
Oh man, he could. Oh yeah, he can haul Bill really far up the way. Um, yeah, because Bill would end what, within 2 of Sam's placement afterwards after he moved.
Yeah, well, no, it's
Um.
2 of himself, so Bill gets to like
Oh,
teleport
okay.
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Pretty decent with the medium-sized base. But yeah, Bill will still have to move.
Rhino opted to take one of the viruses on the that were on the board from the previous round's well-laid plans, and then he ran away to the corner after taking. I mean, he took hits from Voodoo uh, in that round. So with 1 health left, he ran to the corner. We think that was a misplay as he had the opportunity to attack into Iron Man and daze him and get to the side of the board that Lizard and Goblin were on through stampeding. And he opted to take this route, which we think. I mean, it was very risky because he has 1 health left.
Man.
Yeah, yeah. Rhino committed a robbery, and now the cops are out to get him. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Time to pay the piper.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, this displacement should slow Sam down a little bit, but I'm not sure how much it's going to change Rhino's fortunes.
yeah. I think it changed it from 2 attacks with Sam into 1 attack with Sam. So I think that it was probably worth it.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, we'll see, right? I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out.
We'll
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
out if
Yeah.
Sucklord gets scores 15. This goes to 15 after the end of the round or not. That's when we'll know.
Yeah.
All right.
I think.
So it looks like he's not going with Sam like I thought he would. I think that
Oh, okay.
gives that might give an out to Nova. He's gonna airlift Rhino, or he's gonna airlift Iron Man onto the point, um, which he shouldn't have had to do because um, because Iron Man should have positioned better. I think.
Yeah.
Now I think Iron Man had the distance to get on that secure, but um, so yeah, he's basically undoing a mistake with this airlift, and it's putting Sam in a position where I don't think he has the range 4 on Rhino.
Yeah. That shield throw is not happen in this round.
Oh man, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see what the outcome is here, and once we get that range 4 tool down by a Tatan, we'll see. But wow, this is I think you're sending Bill or Luke Cage. Maybe he did measure that range 3 on Luke Cage,
Hmm.
so maybe he's relying on that 7 dicer from Luke Cage to do it. But um, that would if we'll see. This is very
Yeah, I think
interesting.
it is. It is. I think like this is kind of like this. Like we're in round 4. Like the fatigue's starting to set in. Like you've been using so much of your brain on all these like impactful plays in the early game, and now it's just like we're in the grind phase of it, where it's just like it's difficult to like see ahead. Um, but yeah, I think Yeah, I don't know if he's going to try to. Yeah, correcting the Iron Man positional misposition would be. Ugh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it was optimal, but so now Tatan is just doing a bunch of measuring for his second Sam action here. He is injured, so he's going to be pretty irrelevant for the secures. Let's see. He is paying for a charge as well. So let's see what he does with the charge and the airlift combo. He's probably going to go into Doc Ock is what I'm going to see here because he can shove Doc Ock off the point uh, if he gets damage through.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
Sam
that would
needs
be a
to
nice.
airlift Iron Man and charge onto the Voodoo Cage point to try to push Ock off. Oh, there we go. So Deaton is like a step ahead of me here. And that's yeah, that's exactly what it looks like he's
He knows
doing.
his Avengers.
Yeah, move and spender
Yeah.
Rhino. Yeah. So look at that. Deaton. Obviously we know who Deaton's rooting for here. He's an
Yep.
Avenger in the chat. All right.
Yep. Sam
Oh
spam
man.
fanboy. That's him. Yep.
I mean, they need
No,
at least
Dean's.
they need at least a couple, all right? Because the spider foes have been like,
Yeah, they've been
they're
freaking putting
they're
the
very
screws through him.
they've all gathered. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they've been letting the Avengers have it most of the game.
Oh, so he's staying. Oh, so he moved Iron Man away, and then he stayed Sam on the. I think Sam stayed on the point. I didn't see the measurement, but
Oh wow.
Doc Ock rolls a massive block, and nothing happens.
Jeez.
All right, and Deaton is in shambles. Yeah, yeah. There, I agree that that is a blunder. It basically means Bill has to stay on the point. Now, I think Sam should have a secure icon over his head, but I didn't see the measurement on that. Halloween sucks. Oh man. Oh man.
Oh,
See,
Mr. Deaton, Mr.
that's what
Deaton,
comes in
you're not.
just starts throwing shields right away into chat. All right, he's ricocheting off of all these
He's
spider
coming in with a
people.
lot of heat.
He,
Jeez, man,
that's right. Yeah, he just comes in
buddy,
here.
my
Oh
guy.
man, man. All new, all different. Isn't that what it's called? Sam's leadership. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, man. All new, all different. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't go to Avengers HQ tomorrow. All right, all right. So we get an attack into Luke Cage. It looks like it was not a spender, and that's why Goblin maintains four power on him. He doesn't get a wild, so he doesn't score any damage.
Man, he whiffs. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Spender on Luke Cage's range 3. I think that he measured it earlier and it looked like he was in, but maybe that was before Rhino. Let's see. He's gonna put the
Yeah.
tool down and we're gonna know. I think
Yeah, I think he's
he should have
there.
airlifted Iron Man. He was too worried about Lizard and Goblin on Iron Man. Oh, there it is, and he's in range.
Good range.
That's
Honestly, I would have loved
barely.
Iron Man
That's gonna
because that would
be
have been a.
enough. Now the
Yeah.
question is that enough to pick up the secure? To try to pick up the extracts, because if he doesn't pick them up, oh look at that, no, it's out. He can't kill Rhino and pick those up, but Bill can. So Bill's gonna probably double walk and pick them up if Luke Cage uh, gets the kill here. He basically, this is another situation. He needs Luke Cage to deliver, and he does. That was a nice hit by Luke
Oh,
Cage.
nice hit. Nice hit.
He's gone. Cubes will come down. Luke Cage is stuck there. He's not defending Voodoo anymore. So we'll see if that is impactful. And let's see. Let's
Man.
see what happens. Bill's gonna. So the question is Sam on that point? Did they measure range 1?
Yeah.
Because if he's not on that point, um, Tatan is only scoring 2 VPs this round, to 3 VPs this round, to Nova's 2. It gives it makes it pretty tight.
Yeah, that would be such a shame too to have the score like layout because of just like millimeters of difference in position. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah.
let's see. It's interesting. I think that the play might like next round. Does Iron Man? Does Rhino go after Iron Man and just get that one damage on him and pick up that virus? Voodoo getting two more power the next round. Um, it puts him in a good position to possess Rhino and make him ineffective. So
Hmm.
Tatan, I think both players have like what they need to win here, but um, we need to see basically error-free play for either on either side to get the win is what I'm sensing.
Yeah, agreed. Um, yeah, I think yeah, I think this is an opportunity for Rhino to come back bum rush Iron Man. But yeah, I don't.
Yeah, because Bill will be on the other side of the map, right? Bill's gonna be where the virus is. So
Yeah.
you know what? You could even get Bill. You could even get Bill here with two attacks. And that's see, look, I think Tatan is realizing that if he
Oh,
puts his viruses on Bill, um, you're um, I don't know. I think that this is interesting. I don't know what Tatan should do here. I think that a couple of misplays earlier in this round made round four not as strong as it could have been for him.
yeah.
So we'll see if that comes into play in round five.
Yeah, I do like him trying to split the difference and splitting up those tokens, forcing, Rhino to go in a different direction for each one. But yeah, I think yeah, he kind of handcuffed himself earlier on. He was fortunate and got the huge power rolls when he needed to. Obviously, like the ideal way to play is like you don't have to rely on luck in order to execute your plans, but it's impossible. But yeah, he did have a couple critical rolls go his way, which was huge. Um, yeah, we'll see if he can recoup his mental and make some more smart moves like he was earlier in the game. But this is kind of like this looks like a mess of a scrum right now. Just chaos all over the map, and I don't know if there's like really I don't know if there's like optimal decisions, but there's like less bad decisions I think here you can make.
Yeah. So Broccoli Violet asked if what happens if Iron Man is thrown into Bill? Does Sam's leadership trigger before Bill takes damage? So the way it works, like if you have a double KO, uh, uh based on the reading of the cards, I believe this to be correct. And this is how I've played it: is that once a character is dazed, at the same timing as when you have to drop an extract, you also have to select which character is benefiting from the leadership. So if you get a double daze on a throw, you're basically doing that one after the other. And then once the throw is completely resolved on the attacker's end, the SAM leadership trigger abilities on the characters you've selected now get to go off, now get to both be enacted. So we have a repositioning on Sam here because he was range one on the point, but the icon didn't show up ahead above his head, but now it does. So um, yeah, Oscorp, this is a very great positioning game here. We had a full we had a three character rotation in round three by Tatan, and now we're in round or hold on, was that round three? Man, God, it must have been round two. It was round two
Yeah,
rotation, and now um, so it's a lot of positioning, a lot of body blocking on secures that were happening earlier in the game on especially on Nova's side, and but yeah, there's lots of positioning decisions that happen in this game. It's really exciting.
yeah, yeah. Love to see all the different ways that you can get an advantage in this game, and yeah, I think positioning is probably one of my favorites. Um, yeah, it's Goblin. Okay, so Ak is going to be moving towards the midline again.
So what? Oh, Bill's throwing. It's because of Bill throw.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
So he realized that he could only pick up one extract, and so he decided to. Maybe he can't pick up any. I think it's tight. Well, what do you think?
Hmm.
As soon as I put there, oh man, that is tight.
Yeah,
So I think he makes it, but
I
I'm just
think
a
so
believer.
too.
I
I
don't
think
know.
so. Yeah,
It's
I believe
close.
in Bill.
Tatan is doubting it. All
And
right.
like once he
Ah,
picks
man.
up the model, he's
Yeah,
committed, right?
he's locked in that on that tool. That movement tool is stuck there, so he has to move somewhere on the tool. Oh, he's just out. Oh
Oh,
man, that was huge for the spider foes. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, we're
wait,
no,
who
we're
is?
out. We're out.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, the
Oh my God,
shadows.
that's millimeters.
Yep. I don't know. I'm
Jeez.
expecting some emojis in the chat. I can't even imagine which emojis will just show up.
Oh,
Um,
so close. So close.
yeah, that was the crazy thing is that if he positioned that virus slightly more towards Bill, he would have got it.
Yeah,
The range
yeah.
4 tool is handy, Curtis says. I'm imagining that is a range 2 place on the token, plus the range 1 of the token, plus the range 1 of the. Okay, I mean, I'll have to break it down. Another range 1 because you're grabbing it within. Um, plus the range, the extra 2 inches on the base. So there's something like that. Here we go. Yeah, Curtis breaks it down. 5 inches from the medium tool, 2 inch base, 1 inch range, something like that. So, all right. Rhino stops the camel. Oh man. So that was wow. With first activation on the on Nova side, this is actually a massive turn for Nova to basically lock this in. I think he's gonna grab Rhino's so mobile. He's gonna
Yeah.
pick up both secures and then or he doesn't even he doesn't need both secures, he just needs one. So he's not gonna try to get greedy here. He's gonna grab one, move again, and then dash.
Nice. I like
If
that.
if
Yeah.
he possesses if Voodoo yeah, I think that Voodoo has to possess Rhino. He'll Voodoo will double walk possess Rhino though. Um,
Oh, he's
I
got
don't
four
know.
power. Yeah.
Yeah, but then if he does that, Ock will grab it because Voodoo won't have enough power to pick up the virus. So
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
yeah, there's lots of yeah, Oscar. That's right. Rhino's he's gonna get out of there, right? His speed.
Yeah.
A little
Let's
something
book
extra
it.
is what he's gonna have. He's gonna have a little something extra here.
Hmm.
Yeah, get that's this is crazy.
I would love. I know it's not going to happen, but it'd be amazing if Rhino could run and just book it as far as he can, and then Iron Man just barely gets in range for a Helios laser.
Oh yeah, that's I don't think that's happening.
No,
Yeah,
no, it will not.
yeah, I think
There
that
was an opportunity for the world's greatest overkill with the Helios laser into the one health Rhino earlier, but yeah, no such
yeah,
luck.
this I think that is going to be the game-winning move here. I don't know how you stop Rhino in this position. Voodoo could double walk possess. So so what you can do is you activate Voodoo dead last, and you double walk possessed Rhino, and I know
Hmm.
you don't have the power, um, but you stop him from scoring 3 VPs this round. That's what you do, and then
Yeah,
you score 4 VPs, and then you score 4 VPs again, which would put you at 18, whereas Nova would only go to 17. So I think that Tatan totally has an out here if he um, activates Voodoo last. Now I think Ock. So basically, the out for I mean the counter to that is Ock uh, attacking Voodoo, generating enough power to throw him and then displace Voodoo away.
yeah. Which,
And Voodoo can't afford to recall the token, right? If he recalls the token, then he doesn't have enough power to possess. So
yeah,
by pulling the trigger on Voodoo here early, it means that Auk can now interact with the virus, and he will just double walk and pick it up.
yeah, that's true. Oh, yep. Okay, so Voodoo's activated.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that. Well, I mean, the Auk could still go down, right? Auk could still go
Hmm.
down, and then the and it could mean that what that could mean is that we could get 5 points from Tatan and 2 points from Nova, making it a tie game with Tatan having all of the extracts. So
Yes.
we're seeing um, that could easily happen. Like it's very real possibility here. So let's see if that chain of events takes place. You could even, I mean, the other option is double walking Goblin, right? You double walk
Hmm.
Goblin instead. Um, but I think I like Auk because he gets to a more protected position.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, Broccoli
Wouldn't be
Violet
any risk
says,
to follow up.
sorry. Um, all right, he's on the terrain a little bit. This terrain is has you can see the 3D.
Oh
You're fine.
yeah.
It's I'd call that a legal position if your character is floating over air. Yeah,
Yeah, some of the geometry is like a little crooked at times. Yeah.
especially when it's you're dealing with terrain that
Actually,
is
yeah.
yeah, it's not a perfect rectangle.
Yeah. Season 2. Nope. Oh no, he'll be in range to get the token though. If he can get no, it's not gonna get power though. Yeah, you're right.
Yep,
Hmm.
he needed to do this last.
Yeah, yeah. Now we're seeing that.
I think yeah, like it's very clear in my mind that that's what needed to happen last. Because even if Ock did get a throw on Voodoo or something, Sam could have airlifted him back towards the Rhino again.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is exactly what I thought would happen if Voodoo activated early. Where I'm sure we're definitely gonna see this, and we're gonna have to see. I don't see the range on Bill being able to.
Yeah,
We might see
he's
an airlift
yeah.
on Bill. We'll have to see an airlift on Bill to give Tatan a chance, and I think he'll find it because when you're in a situation where there's only one way to win, you almost I think you find it. You find it more often than you
Hmm.
don't.
Yeah. Yeah, the your options are more limited. You can immediately like start identifying like, okay, that's a loss, that's a loss, that's a loss. Uck does grab that objective. Man.
So I think that if I was Nova there, I would have put Auk in cover on that car. Um,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I would have to double check, but it seems like he's not in cover of the car, which means he. I think the likelihood of him dazing here is um, is real. Is more real.
Yeah, I think from can Bill reach him?
Can he reach that range
He's
four?
got
No.
oh,
It's close. It's
oh,
very
it's really
close.
close.
Um, yeah, very close.
I'm sure Bill just wants to be able to daze somebody. He hasn't been able to all game, I think.
Yeah, if Violet says that if the car is going to go into Ock's face, I mean, it could, but it's not going to kill him. It's not going to kill Ock. So I I guess a double move charge. The problem is that I mean, Sam could probably throw at him, but you really need Luke Cage to grab the legacy. I think you need Luke Cage to grab the legacy, Iron Man to sit on the back serum, Sam to sit on the front serum, and you need Beta Ray Bill to get airlifted and move onto the to move into Doc Ock. That's what I see, but they're um they're trying to figure it out. There are lots of hand movements.
Hmm. Yeah,
I don't know if the airlift could even reach Bill. I just think that Sam does move very far. So
yeah.
I don't know if he ends up within range two of Bill. I would guess so, but um, he hasn't thought of it yet, from what I can tell, because he hasn't measured it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Man. I think also this shows like how tight this competition's starting to get, where you literally can't make one or two mistakes.
Yeah.
Like if you make one positional mistake, it's really dangerous. The second one pretty much seals your fate. Um, yeah, because uh, it, Tatan made all the right moves early on. Yeah, yeah, but you just can't give a single inch against any of your opponents here.
I think that the fact that we're approaching 3 hours of a stream is definitely a factor.
Yes.
It is a very long game. It's yeah. It's I think my brain has melted a little bit. So I can't even imagine the
Hmm.
players playing the game. Like holy moly,
Oh my God,
um,
yeah.
yeah. That's got to be weighing taking its toll on both players. There's so much you can see the fact that they're measuring so many different things. It just
Hmm.
shows you how intense of a game it is.
Yeah. You've got so many considerations. This is a game with stakes. It's being casted. Like, yeah. There's just so many, and then yeah, you're into hour three, and it's, yeah, yeah. It's gonna take its toll, 100%.
Let's see if Luke Cage can get to that serum canister in a single move. If he can, I think he's out. But if he can, it does free up Sam to throw a shield into Doctor Octopus.
Hmm.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
it
I
looks
guess
like
I'm sure
okay.
he'll put the tool down because that's the only real decision to make. And I will know.
Yeah,
Oh, he's in. Yeah, he's definitely in.
easy. Yeah,
So
easily.
the Ock is not safe here. There we go. Perfect. That's exactly what you need
So
if you're
Sam could move
Tatan.
and charge. You're thinking?
Yeah, I think that Sam uh, can put the tool down, see if you can airlift Bill as an option. But I think that moving and then charging is I'm sure we're gonna see that.
Yeah, and I feel like that might be his last hope. Oh, there's Sam. Okay.
So we must have had a pass by Nova.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's see if it gets him there. Lots of measurements, but no matter how far he goes, Ak is always range one from my heart. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right.
Love that name, Oscar the Jar.
While we're doing some measuring, I'm just gonna do a little bit of self promotion here. Tomorrow, I am playing in a final match, the grand finals of the Champion versus Champions event that was hosted by Rich Mid. It was a really cool event where you had to play a tournament of only an affiliation. So I had to play a bunch of X-Men players. I had to play a few of them. I actually it was three total I had to beat, and I became the X-Men representative of the Champion of Champions finals, where we had I think 24 or so affiliations, all the affiliations, one of each, and then they had to battle it out. So I am now in the finals versus the Midnight Suns representative. That game is going on tomorrow at 5 p.m. versus Ronin Around is his tag on Longshanks. So tune in. I'm sure it'll be streamed. I'll be streaming it on Twitch if we don't have a stream available. But it should be a pretty crazy game. It's taken both of us seven. We've had to go through seven opponents to get there. So it's there's a little bit of nerves I've got, but it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
It sounds really exciting. So you'll be piloting X-Men into Midnight Suns for
That's
the
right.
finals.
Yeah, yeah.
And so did are you guys playing with the updated characters
Yeah,
or
yeah. So I think 2 weeks ago, whenever the TTS League made the switch, like about 10 days ago or so, we made the switch too. So I've been playing a certain way with X-Men that people
Yeah.
people don't think it's don't really call it X-Men, I guess, but like I call it X-Men. You just play like the least amount of X-Men as possible, and then you drop Malekith or Red Skull,
Yep.
and I don't know why people don't call that X-Men,
Yeah.
but now I've had to switch things up. I had to beat Hydra in the semifinals, and that was very tight. I played Cyclops' leadership. It was crazy.
New Cyclops leadership?
Yeah, the new one. So it was
Oh,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I forgot half my leadership triggers. Here's the big roll of the game here.
Oh,
We've
there it
got
is. Yep.
Tatan rolling shield. He can't pick up the piece, but it stops the game from being over this round, and I think it puts Tatan in the driver's seat if he gets the attack here. And we have a
Oh,
big miss here. We've got no damage through. I'm sure we're gonna see some reactions.
damn.
Oh man, yeah, I love to see it. Love the chat activity. Let's go, let's go. Yeah, it's a hug. I love this. Love the squad cheering, the affiliation represented in the chat here. So Sam did get a wild, I think. So he gets to throw into. Did he get a wild?
He did, yeah.
So he's throwing into Rhino. He could. He's opting not to. It seems like, but yeah, because it wouldn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like it's gonna be pumpkin bombs for his trouble.
Yeah, like there's nothing really to say here other than so you don't actually want to do this because you get a short advance on. Oh no, hold on, I'm wrong. Sam dies and no trigger. So
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
yeah. I was for a second there. I'm back in like the old errata version where you could kill Sam and then Beta Ray Bill sneaks up on you.
That would be funny.
Yeah. So either way, there's no point in attacking. Um, he's going to activate Iron Man, right? There's no way. Tatan just like you might as well activate Iron Man. Lizard's gone. There's no real threat. You delay this. You delay this as long as possible with Bill. Looks like so. Tatan is locked in at 4 VPs. No matter what, and it looks and Nova's locked in at 2. So we're gonna see 14 to 15 with this last VP could be the 16th point that Nova needs if his Ox survives.
Oh
That I
my
think
gosh.
that now knowing, so this is where you probably just needed to double move airlift Bill, or sorry, airlift Bill, yeah, just to
Yeah.
get the guaranteed thing potentially. I mean, I think that you could have. Yeah, I don't know. It's what's Iron Man gonna do? There's Iron Man's not doing anything. He's gonna just activate. He's gonna be done. There's nothing. Yeah, Bill has to
Yeah.
see if he can make it. I think you should have airlifted Bill because you got a 6 dice attack into Ox weaker defenses.
Hmm.
It was the only likely out here. Airlift was not reaching Bill. Yeah. So I guess that wasn't an out.
Yeah.
So what am I saying? Yeah, this is your only out here. Is what he did.
Man.
All right. So
Tough match. Yeah.
Bill is Bill slowed? There's no way he's slowed. He's what's going on with that? Oh, he's looking at a. I think that Nova measured that short on Bill, assuming he would kill Sam, but he must not realize that the Sam KO doesn't trigger the leadership.
Yeah.
He's something, yeah. Nova is something of a scientist himself. Oh yeah,
Nice.
that's, of course. I love it. He loved it. He love it. All right, so he doesn't have range 4 on Doc Ock. He could throw terrain. It's a size. Oh, it's a size 3. Oh, hold on. Whoa, I didn't realize it was a size 3. That's actually a game changer. That is an out. You
Oh,
could.
the crap. Yeah.
Wow. So I thought it was a size 2 because cars, but
Cars are usually two, yeah.
yeah,
But it's two cars crashed together.
I know. Yeah, exactly. So Ock needs to block one of these. Wow. Let's see what happens here. You can't. You have to daze off of enemy effects, and look. He can't get it. He can't fit, and he can't get the medium tool to hit Doc Ock. I don't
Oh,
think. I don't know.
man.
Can he get the medium tool to hit Doc Ock? Oh, oh,
Oh,
he's
there it is.
in.
There it
He's
is.
in.
There it is. There it is.
And that also means if he dazes Doc Ock, he could pick it up.
Oh my
But
gosh.
is he spending all of his power? He is spending all of his power to do this.
And he's already spent 2 moves.
Yep. So here we go. Let's see. Can Oct survive? Oh wow, he blocks
Oh!
it. So that's game.
Scientist
He
lives.
blocks all of it except for one. All
He even
right.
gets a scientific hubris also for fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He also gets
Yeah.
extra power. All right. So
Yeah.
let's All right. Once they put the scores on the board, we're gonna jump into their chat and ask them a couple questions and wrap this up.
Sounds good.
Thank you for everyone that's been in the chat here. It's been made it even more fun. Lots of enthusiasm for Avengers and Spider Foes. So it's really cool. Let's go into their chat.
Right.
Wait, was it 10? Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Hey guys.
No,
What's up,
Wow,
sir?
that was wild.
I was.
What a
Dude,
wild game.
That's crazy,
Well
bro.
played, guys. Well played game. That was fantastic.
My
Uh,
heart, dude, just can't take it.
How are your guys' brains right now at this
Dude,
point?
I'm fried.
yeah.
Tatan, you did a great job of rotating your characters really early in the match.
Absolutely.
What were you thinking at the end of round two when Nova had a pretty strong round where he scored? He went up to 8-5 at the end of that round. What were you thinking as your characters were like kind of in the middle of the board?
Yeah. Honestly, in as early as in round one, I kinda doubted if go to the left with Voodoo because I feared the Black Cat and Rhino double steal plus the well laid plans. So at that point, when I was certainly going to get behind, I just said, "Screw it! I need to go and make a difference in the side with the secures." So I assumed that I would be behind on points for at least a bit, and if the dice went my way, I could bounce back. But I just
Yeah,
had to assume it since Bill didn't get Black Cat the first round.
yeah. You did bounce back. That was a really impressive comeback that you made. We thought that Nova put his powerful round two put him in a really comfortable position, but your excellent play brought you right back into the game to the point that we thought that you were gonna win with the Nova when you played Rhino into the corner there. We thought you put
Mhm.
Tatan in a winning position. Um, what were you considering, Nova? Were you considering dazing Iron Man and trying to push Rhino onto the other side of the board with Goblin and Lizard? And
I
what did you think about that activation?
I did consider it. I don't completely remember the situation, but there was a reason that I didn't want to daze him. There was a Sam leadership trigger that I saw that was disadvantageous for me.
Right.
So it was an option I thought about, and I just opted the other way, I guess.
Yeah. So what did you think about Black Hat going down in one shot?
I was like, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, we think that watching the stream, I think like every Spiderfo player that uses the general MCP forum was in my chat tonight. So if you ever go back and watch, you're gonna see lots of emoji, lots of spider emojis, and lots of. We had some
Representing.
Avengers players try to fight their way into the chat, but
That's great.
it was too many emojis, too many pumpkin emojis for the Avengers players
That,
to stick
that,
around.
that's my boys right there.
Yeah.
No,
So
but
yeah.
I definitely knew it was a risk to not rotate Lizard and Goblin. Um, I mean to rotate them and to just keep them over here. That was a bit of a risky idea. But the plan was to take the Black Cat and rotate her over there to that side. But of
Yeah.
course that didn't
Exactly.
happen.
Yeah. We see that. Let's see here. Yeah. So that was that game was that game was phenomenal. Josh, do you have any questions for the players?
Yeah, Tatan. Did you learn anything? Have you played Spider Foes a bunch before? Was the game anything that you didn't expect happened? Were you surprised by anything?
Yeah, this is my, I don't know, is this the second or third time playing Spider Foes? I have never played him against someone that played this well. Because all the other times it was a little bit funky, and the only real concern was the well laid plans. So it was really, really different and stressful having to take in consideration three possible steals all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of a lot of redundancy there. And then Nova, was there any point what was there a particular point in the game where you were like really sweating and not sure that you were going to pull
Um,
things off?
as soon as Black Cat died, um, if Black Cat lives there, she just walks, grabs in the middle that walks over, and I can just ride out this side the rest of the game.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
but once Rhino was in a rough spot to rotate, it was just she was my only safe rotation out of there. So as soon as that happened, I was like, well, this is gonna be a lot closer than I wanted it to be. And then it was just me trying to outrun outrun the clock, I guess.
Now I
Right. Yeah.
did yeah, now there was a point where it looked like you were deciding between Rhino running for the corner or or trying to stomp Iron Man.
Yes.
Was that a difficult decision for you to make? How confident
I,
were you in that decision?
I was like I had no idea which one was the better option. I considered both heavily, and I opted to go the way that was the less dice dependent option because I was also saved by I think it was what Voodoo not doing one damage to Rhino over here,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I didn't want that to be what happened to me over here. But again, odds are that doesn't happen. But I guess that was the factoring decision into there. But it was tough. It was a 50-50 either way.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I don't begrudge anybody for not trying to rely on dice in this game because you have no idea what is going to happen anytime you roll them. So,
Dude,
um,
wacky.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, really great performance for both you guys. Yeah, learned a lot. It was really awesome, really exciting. I love seeing this brand of MCP that's like movement, mobility,
Hmm.
positional based, and kind of like you guys were. I felt like this game was like so mentally taxing because there were so many different considerations. Like Tatan, you said like there's like three different steals you had to like think about every single play you were making. Like, yeah, it's
And the puzzle between mission objective heroes and the SAM leadership was also a pain.
Yeah, Tatan
you-
played mission objective really well. He
Mhm.
making sure he played that incredibly well with the Avengers Assemble plays to just keep your characters within. Heroes for Hire was like always there to like bring Luke Cage in for a mission objective target. I do think you
Yep.
made the right call of using this as a robbery on Bill, which got the piece to Sam, who was already on low health.
Hmm.
But yeah, there was yeah, exactly. I could see the strategies on both sides to prevent the steals and try to like and set up future steals and future turns. So it was really well done. Thank you guys for letting me stream your game, and I would love to stream one of your games or both your games next week if the timing works out.
Of course. Thank you for streaming, man. This was quite the
Yeah.
game. Thank you,
Yeah.
Tatan, for the game.
Yeah, thanks for your time and for the experience. It's been really something I've been looking forward to. So
Okay.
thanks.
I will
Yeah, thank
catch
you, guys.
you guys next time.
Sounds good. Have a good night, gentlemen.